throwback to the good old days. Am I right?
Did you hear that?
That was
Yeah.
I tried to imitate Jacob there.
Hey, guess what? It's the LTC from East Tennessee here once again. Tonight is a pizza party that we're having. We
Cheers.
decided to have this pizza party. I'll have mine in a second. We decided to have this pizza party because we're joined here with none other than Mr. Pizza Man, that one pizza man, Brayton Laster.
That's me, Brayton Laster, Master Disaster. I'm disappointed Parv's not here. That's the reason I showed up. I thought Parv would be here. He was in the thumbnail and everything.
I do want the record to show Parv. Parv did give me a gift to give to you. He did. Give me just 1 second, it's specifically for you. Hold on, I'm gonna scan for a virus.
He would have fell asleep anyway.
He would have.
See, now that is not a guarantee nor a promise.
Colton.
Hell yeah, Colton. I agree.
Okay, let's see. Present. So I'm gonna present something to you guys real quick. Screen sharing was canceled. What does that mean? Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry.
So what are we calling this a talk show? Are we calling this a talk show? Yeah.
Papa John sucks.
Oh, no!
Hey, bitch!
No!
You fucking asshole! Fuck you! Papa John's for life, bitch!
Domino's is better.
Okay, listen here.
Fuck out of here, Parv!
Papa John's ass.
Why is Parv so full of bad takes?
I know!
That was just for you, Brayton.
I mean, put hashtag Parv gang on the car, and I'm disappointed he didn't get our guy driving the figure 8 car didn't get T-boned because he about got T-boned that first lap.
Dude, almost. That was close. Go ahead.
I still need to pull up I had a GoPro footage on that right rear too, point forward. So I'm sure that's some fantastic footage. I still haven't looked at it, but
so Brayton, this is your second time here. The first time you were here, you were en route to Charlotte. Yeah. So
that was terrible.
That happened. We don't have a whole lot of time with you tonight. So I want you to walk me through what happened after the show ended through that week. So you got to Charlotte. And that was what? Like was that a Wednesday or a Thursday?
It was, I want to say it was like a Wednesday. It was a Tuesday? No, not Tuesday. I want to say it was a Wednesday night. And that was a rough show because that was 2.5 hours of me driving through West Virginia Wi-Fi. It was rough. And we hit Sheets, I know, one time. That was the first time I ever went to Sheets, and I had a fantastic time at Sheets. I took a sheet at Sheets. But we went for that was for the truck. I made my truck debut at Knoxville, and I was getting ready for that with the Rayon brothers there. And that was a weird situation itself because we were like, hey, should we come get seated or fitted for the seat in the interior? And they were like, no, you're fine. We went down once already, like a month before, like 2 months, I want to say before that, like a month after Talladega. And they're like, no, you're fine. And then Monday night, we got a call, and they're like, hey, man, can you come down here? I'm like, sure. I was looking for a reason to get out of the house anyways and go to Charlotte because I love the area. And so the second they're like, hey, can you come down here? I'm like, heck yeah, dude. And then we did a little video podcast talk show that my internet kept cutting out. And it was fun. We debuted the truck scheme, and that was a good one. And so we went. I ran Knoxville. I out-qualified Norm Benning. I ruined Norm Benning's shot at making a show, which I got a lot of hate for that because apparently people bet a lot of money on Norm to make it into the show. And it was me.
Did he flip you off?
No, he did not. I flew by him so fast I couldn't even tell. Got him. But which I really like Norm. I kind of look up to Norm. You know, I remember watching Eldora in like 2013, I believe, watching him like race his way into the show. And he started 9th in the first qualifying race. I started 10th. And he had to beat me and one other truck in order to qualify their way in. And I just had to beat him because I would get a passing point for passing him. And so it was basically me or him. I didn't want to have to rely on an owner's provisional, which the Rayon Bros at the time, I think, were like 30th, 31st in points, and they had like 30, I want to say 38 trucks or 36 spots. And so I'm like, I'm not taking provisional. I'm like, no provisionals here. Nuh-uh, no, sir. And I went in the qualifying race. Going to turn 1, I was up top, and I got up to 8th. And the first qualifying race got missed because Fox was streaming like soccer or something. And like it was on like FS2, and they didn't tell anybody. And I didn't come back to FS1 until like the last lap of the first qualifying. And I got past coming out of 2. And Norm had like a 3 or 4 truck thing lead on me. And in my head, I knew like we did the math because we got our lineups Friday night after practice, and the race was Saturday. And we sat there. It was kind of cool because the Random has to have like this guy's really good at math. And so we're sitting there figuring out the numbers and whatnot. Like he's like, you got beat Norm. You got beat one person in the show. I'm like, perfect, love it. And so that was my goal, was beat Norm. He had 3 or 4 truck links, and I believe the race was 10 laps. I was kind of paced behind him, 4, 5, 6 laps. And I noticed he kept pushing up the track more and more. And he washed up too many times. And I believe on the 6th lap, I just shot it under him and just drove away. Never saw him again. And that's how we qualified in the show. We started 31st, the last car to make it in without a provisional, which I was pretty proud of because like Jack Wood had to get provisional no GMS. That's a pretty beefy team, when they out qualified GMS. So I was pretty proud of that. And we went lap down in the first stage, which I was trying to save my stuff because last year that race was a disaster. And so I was just going to keep my stuff clean. We went lap down. We stayed out at the stage break, got our lap back. And we got a little more competitive throughout the night. Jessica Friesen flipped, which I didn't see her actually flip. I caught the tail end of it. I was driving by. I saw her drive shaft sticking straight out of the ground. I'm like, hey, guys, I was talking to my spotter. I'm like, guys, this don't look so good. I'm like, her drive shaft is pointing straight up. And so past her, and she actually came back on track, which is kind of cool. And we brought it home 27th. I mean, not a scratch on it. Me, I think the G2G truck, the 46, kind of went at it all night. And we were kind of weird because we got 2 laps down towards the end of the race, and we got a caution, so I was the only car 2 laps down. I mean, there were guys like 3 and 4 laps down, and a couple like 1 lap down. So we were in like a weird spot where we weren't battling anybody for position. But we brought it home without a scratch. And you 2 are going ham on some pizza. Oh my lord! And
oh, he's shotgunning that shit. Look at him.
yeah, he's just going ham on it. I mean, leaving no seconds. And
Damn straight, yeah.
So we brought it home 27th, which I think is pretty decent for your truck debut on a dirt track that we've never been to. And driving a complete style car that I've never driven. It's a truck arm suspension, all that. I've never driven suspension like that. The ARCA car is kind of like that, but I didn't drive it on dirt, So we went, had fun with that, celebrated with some pizza that night, and we kind of sat there and like, all right, this is great. Let's move forward. And the plan was, I haven't mentioned this a whole lot. The plan was to run IRP because that's a hometown for me. I live in South Indianapolis, and unfortunately, with it being the first playoff race, typically NASCAR does not allow drivers to make their debut in a series during the playoffs. And they called it my asphalt debut, so they wouldn't let me make my debut during the playoffs at IRP, which sucks because even though I've never ran there, oh boy, I've never ran there. I was really looking.
If you only knew me, you would know that statement is so false. Jake heard me gag a little while ago, actually. Take that however you want.
Oh boy, and also that, I mean, I had a bet with Spencer Boyd over a pizza, so we actually I beat Spencer Boyd. He got some damage early on. I think he overheated or something. I beat him, and he got me a pizza, so that I'll take that. And so we kind of move forward from that. I still race typically every weekend or every other weekend with our dirt late mile stuff. And that's one reason I got approved for the dirt stuff was because I run dirt late miles. Although I've been racing asphalt for 12 years. So it's not for a lack of experience. It's kind of didn't want me to go out there and destroy half the field in a playoff race, which someone else did that for me at IRP. I forget who, but yeah. And we went, had fun, and I was in the pitch for IRP. I'm sitting there, I was just in that atmosphere. I'm like, this is what I want to do. That sealed the deal for me right there. So we went, and we've been talking with a lot of people. And this actually has been going since after Talladega, before Knoxville. We've been talking to a couple people. and we have a deal signed with End Zone Sports Management Agency. They do a lot of stuff in the NFL. They manage over 300 players. So we're returning. The plan is to return to ARCA next year, with Mullins Racing in particular that I ran Daytona Talladega with this year, and get that ARCA experience that I need to run the trucks, because they're still kind of, we're like, well, what if it wasn't a playoff race? What if we did something next spring, next season? And the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, how about that? And
Oh yeah, retro
yeah.
now. Let's
Throwback,
bring it back.
baby.
which I always want to run a truck race next year just so I can get the Craftsman license, because I'm sure it's going to look sharp.
Yeah.
Because you get that little license when you run the truck series. It's expensive, but you get one, and they're nice. I carry it around on me in case I have to, show off, And
Buy some alcohol with it.
oh, I'm 20, so I don't.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Damn.
I would some pizza to it,
You
but
buy some pizza, yeah.
so yeah, yeah. So but they're like, we'd honestly prefer if you had more asphalt experience before we let you on track in a truck. I'm like, I got 12 years of asphalt experience, man. What you mean? And most of that's figure eight, and they don't really count the figure eight as real asphalt. Although that stuff, as you guys saw firsthand, that takes some cojones and some serious skill. So the fact they don't look at that as like real asphalt experience really sucks. So plans to go run ARCA next year. And
Do you think that they should look at that as asphalt experience? Like, in all
100%.
seriousness,
100%.
justify that to me. Like, why? Like, what makes, other than, and like I said, I'm not challenging you, but I want you to explain it.
So
Other than being a madman, like,
Being-
how is that skillful?
other than taking their cojones and throwing them over their shoulder for
Yeah.
laps on time. Well, first off, we run those cars on an oval. Okay, people don't really watch the oval stuff because it's not as exciting. But those cars are basically, they're tube railing, but they have like some number of metric clips. So they're essentially almost like most of their like modern day asphalt late models. They're on an 8-inch slick tire, which is or 10-inch too for some of the bigger shows, which is the exact same tire that the asphalt late models run. We weigh 2,400 pounds, which is, I want to say the asphalt late models have to weigh like 27-28. So we're a little bit lighter. We have the exact same power band as the asphalt late models. That's one thing that NASCAR kind of wants out of these drivers move before they go to the ARCA or the truck series. Mainly the truck series, they want to see that half mile or a little bit bigger asphalt experience or ARCA experience. And especially like the 8 model guys you see a lot now, Lane Riggs coming up. There's a couple other like the 8 model guys. Blake Thean, he ran with Ram a couple times this year. Mason Magier, I believe he runs some 8 model stuff. But I mean, it's basically an asphalt 8 model with just a different body. And the cockpit is a little, centered more because they're turning left and right. But the driving for that, I mean, we're hitting the brake just much slow down for any corner. And that track, the speed limit is a 5th mile. But we've run, figure eights on a half mile before, on a quarter mile, on a 3rd mile. And I mean, it takes just almost more skill, because they're sitting here having to engage your corner, your braking points, your throttle points, while also trying to avoid a pack of cars trying to T-bone you. We're not trying to T-bone you, but you're trying to avoid from being T-boned. So you have more driver and situational awareness, and it's basically driving. I mean, you could take an asphalt 8 model and be competitive, and you can run them out there. Just gotta watch out for somebody, T-boning you. So, I mean, I don't know why they don't look at it as experience, but
Yeah, I feel like they should. I mean,
yeah.
What you just explained to me is late model stock cars just racing in a figure eight.
I mean, same rear ends. We have the same winner's quick change rear end, same suspension. I mean, it depends on what, because there's like 28 different late model classes on the East Coast, I know, and down south. Depending on what class, different suspension. But we mainly run like a swing arm, which is what they use in dirt cars, or a 4-bar. But we also have truck arm and leaf spring suspensions too, that a lot of figure 8 cars have. So, I mean, I can see where they're coming from by not wanting to count it as experience. But when you sit there and you look at those cars and you look at how they're made and what they're made of and what they consist of, we're not taking like 78 Thunderbirds and throwing a cool looking body on them and going out there and tearing them up,
I witnessed some Thunderbirds in my day. Cody and I both witnessed some Thunderbirds. I think we witnessed a Mustang 2. I think that was the craziest late model I've ever seen. Was a Mustang 2. Little bumblebee farting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody's got
that's
pizza.
pretty cool. I don't. I have pizza, which is sad because I'm on diet. Because apparently, in order to be a race car driver, you gotta be in shape. So I'm limited on my pizza intake for the week.
Damn.
I'm trying to be like no Grayson out here, but I mean, I was kind of impressed with my endurance at Knoxville. The team was too. I know before the race, Josh comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, bud, I want you to know, we're looking at it from an owner's standpoint, So we're looking long term here." He goes, "So, at that second stage break, if you can't do it, I'll have my fire suit here. I'll go out and I'll finish the race if you have to." He goes, "So he goes, I don't want you hurting yourself. I don't want you killing yourself to finish this race. So if you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. But if you're just not feeling up to it, you're feeling sick, you're throwing up in the car, we're going to, do a driver swap there during the stage break." I'm like, I'll let you know. And stage 2, I was sitting there. I'm like, it's go time, boys and girls. I'm ready to send it. And my water ran out like lap 120 because I had a giant jug of water and I ran out. And so that was a little bit rough. The last 30 laps because we had like a good 40 lap green flag run there at the end. And so I'm like, guys, gotta bring it home. So I had fun. And Talladega, those ARCA cars are hot, dude. I mean, they burn up a lot. So
I mean, that was a hot day that day.
It was. It was humid.
This is just a straightforward question that I have for you. I want to know what your mentality is. How long do you want to remain in the ARCA scene before will you run ARCA long term, or do you have a timeline for yourself to where if I'm not in the cup, if I'm not in the Xfinity series or a truck by 2025, I'm done. Do you have anything like that?
So racing's always been in my blood. I'm a second generation racer. My dad grew up, racing street stocks and figure 8 stuff, and he never really made it to this level. He never really tried. I mean, he wanted to obviously, but he didn't start racing until he was 40, 30, or he started working when he was 20 or 30, but didn't start racing until he was late 30. So obviously he was really late to the game, and that was kind of his goal. He said with one of his kids is, if we didn't want to race, he wasn't going to press rush, but if one of us took up racing, he goes, then he'd be our biggest supporter. And so I've raced for 12 years now, since I was 8 years old. I started out in go-karts. And actually, my first ever full-size car I raced was a 78 Thunderbird. Or 79 Thunderbird. I was 12 years old racing against 50-year-old dudes in a street stock class. So that was interesting. But that's another thing, too, is I have 2-3 years of street stock experience and Hornet experience, but I guess NASCAR doesn't look at that either. And but I mean, this is obviously a great opportunity, like I said, and this may need to get that big track experience that NASCAR is wanting. But I never really expected to make it to this level either. I do this for fun. I do it for a hobby. I by no means plan to make a career out of it. I love it. If I can make a career out of it, they say if you love your job, you don't really work a day in your life. You love what you do.
Right.
And if I can go out there and, turn left and, right on an occasional basis for a living, that would be awesome. But, I am a very optimistic person. I'm still in college. I'm 20 years old, still going to college. I'm a sophomore at Liberty University getting my degree in the business. Got to make that moolah somehow. And I also work every day, too, on top of that. So... And then I come home and work on race cars. So I'm doing everything I can to make the dream come true. And I might be, like Frank Kimmel, who races ARCA his entire career into his 50s. So that is, if I can make a career out of it. Because there are guys at the truck level. I mean, Matt Kraft has been at the truck level forever. I'm sure he makes great money at it. And that's why he's there. He makes money at it.
So it doesn't matter where you're at. You are going to race. It doesn't matter.
I see. And like I said earlier, I still race, every weekend or every other weekend with the dirt cars, street stocks or Hornets or the figure 8 cars or a school. I've raced a school bus, And NASCAR, I mean, I figure a school bus would be a great experience for NASCAR, but I even put on my resume because that's submit a resume when you apply for your truck license, everywhere you've raced. And also thank you, Emily, for that. I had a resume. It's 2 pages long about every track, every class I've raced at, and they almost want every single race you've been in. They want your start, finish, all of that. And I went through the best of my ability. I would even put school bus figure 8, started 8th, finished 3rd. We'll take it. And I didn't look at that, I guess. But if I can make a career out of it, and there are many guys out there even running on the lower tier circuits or the lower level, they're not a mid-pack team, and but you're able to still make a career out of it. You're able to do what they love to make a career out of it. And there are guys in the dirt world. I mean, Jonathan Davenport has won $1.9 million this year racing dirt late models. I mean, that's pretty good. That's almost more than what I'd say most truck or Xfinity guys are probably making. So, I mean, there are dirt guys that make good money. And
please.
So I mean, if I can make a career out of it, where I can be happy, and do what I love, I'm content. If I make it a cup, awesome, dude. I'd be hyped to do that. And even if it's a one-off, I mean, they race Bristol Dirt. I'm sure I can probably get approved for Bristol Dirt in the Cup Series. So Carl Long give you a MBM over there. But I mean, I obviously and I've never been in the best of my best equipment. Like I said, I work on a lot of my own stuff, and I only have one other guy really helping me full time. So I mean, we obviously aren't the best in the garage. We don't have that much, moolah. Like I said earlier, like I build some of our motor. I think I said before, so but I build some of our motors out of junkyard LSs, and we put like a $600 cam in them. I do some head work on my own. With our air compressor, and we have a little die grinder there. And we got some stock on the TV there. Someone just scored. That was a sick hit right there.
It was. It was. I was trying to think who it was.
And this is like Inception right here. But so as long as I can make a career out of it, if I can make it to truck Xfinity level, I'd be more than delighted. So there's I forget who's the Xfinity owner that's like 26 years old and works out of a corner of Roush's garage. Is it Ellis? One of the
Ryan
Jacob
Ellis
should know this one if anybody does.
He lived out of a van and sold a van to buy his entrance. It's one of the lower tier, but mid tier guys. He's running.
What number is it?
I have no idea. Hang on, we're gonna go to standings here. Sam Hunt, that's who it is.
Oh, Sam Hunt. Yeah.
And I read a story on him, and that's a very cool story. There, Chris Buescher has a very cool story where he just works in for Roush and built. There you go. I don't know if this is a very well known story, but his Xfinity car basically was hand me down parts from Roush off of wrecked Cup cars, wrecked Xfinity cars, and so they let him put together this wrecked car put together wrecked pieces and went out there and out qualified the regular Roush cars, and so that's when they were like, oh my god, this dude's something. So, I mean, if I could have a cool story like that, and those guys obviously are very successful at what they do, awesome, But for now, I'm very content where I'm at. I could retire tomorrow and say I've had a successful career. I got to run at Daytona and Talladega. Not many guys get to make it to that level. I never thought I'd get to make it to that level, and we're just gonna go and keep going and see how far down the road we can get. And if I might pull I don't know who, but I'm sure somebody that's probably left the ARCA series or the truck series and fizzle out a little bit. They come back a couple years down the road, That's
okay. So I want to pause here, real quick. What's up, Papaw Cody? Thanks for joining us tonight. Brayton, I am going to put you squared in the ring with Jacob. I would love to moderate this because I know one thing you said Jacob is probably dissatisfied with.
Okay.
So
what was it?
You said you were content with where you were at and what you've done. And Jacob, just ask him to justify and explain it, because I know Jacob does not he does not agree with this mentality. So do it.
I don't agree with that mentality. I love you. I do. But I don't agree with that mentality. Man, okay. So obviously you are talented. You wouldn't
something like that.
I mean, yeah, you are. You wouldn't be at the level that you're at if you weren't, right? You've got to do things that not a lot of people get to do. You get to race ARCA. You've been in a truck series race. You raced in NASCAR. Only a certain amount of people do NASCAR. Don't give up, man. Keep working at it. If you love it, do it. It's like this. It's like us with this podcast. I love this podcast, so I show up to this podcast every day. We might not ever make a dime on this, So I might be fucking homeless in 2 years. That's something that happened. I love you
But
too,
we
Ted.
won't be homeless if you right up there above Dalton. Shameless promo here. You could scan that. You can scan that QR code, and it'll take you to our PayPal, where you, the viewer, can help support the LTC dreams.
I got this. Hang on. I got this.
Oh man!
Oh,
Look
shit.
at this. Look at this.
Live donut.
Look at this.
We're not homeless.
I've known it. But and I mean, you could actually like live out of a van and do a podcast.
Yeah, man.
We'd be the
An RV?
minivan. A minivan's much cooler, but you know.
I seen a video of this guy, like it was on Facebook. He took like a bus, and like an old school bus, and like made it his home. It actually looks pretty cool. We can just do that.
Yeah, I'm
Pass around the
claustrophobic.
commune.
It wants to know if I want to add 64 cents to cover the fees. I'll cover the guys' fees too for this donation.
Dude, I appreciate it. You're giving us the whole donation. Dude, that's beautiful.
I got you guys. I got you.
I'm flattered.
Cody knows I'm the friend that pushes other friends. I push people to be better. That's what I do.
So, also, someone made a comment earlier. I am above Justin Marks in truck standings.
You
Right?
are.
Yeah. So
I noticed
there we
that. I saw that the other day.
go. So there you guys go. I got you. It was supposed to be 469, but I added 64 cents to cover the fee, so it was 533 instead. But
Oh, dude,
So-
I appreciate it.
so-
You're paying our
I
rent.
got you. There you go. But so the ARCA level, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the payout for an ARCA race. Obviously, it isn't the greatest.
So
And,
we are just now like being educated on
Mhm.
ARCA. Shout out our boy Colby for
Yes,
helping
Colby.
educate us too. Like, yeah, Colby is like his passion for ARCA is what I feel like ours is for like.
He loves
Like,
ARCA. Colby's ARCA's
Yeah,
biggest
it's
fan. I
incredible,
love that.
incredible.
Like honestly, when we had him on, like I have like a whole new like perspective on ARCA series now.
Mhm. I say I just put it in the YouTube chat. The link for the ARCA competitor site. That's public, by the way. I didn't share a private link. You can Google that and find that. On there are all the payouts for every ARCA race. And I remind you, a set tires is like $2,800 to $2,500, somewhere around there. And if we run on an Ilmore and be competitive, that's around 40 or so grand, if not more. So obviously, it's hard to be competitive at the level I'm at. But it's almost necessary to get that experience that NASCAR's looking for. And what sucks is it's hard to get approved for trucks, even Xfinity, because there's so many people where they've just kind of looked at as they have late model experience, they have some asphalt experience, something like that, and they approve them, and they go out there and they're just terrible. And
God.
oh man, I can't stop now. And I'll say, and I mean, they're just out there, and they make those series look bad, and and so they make it hard for people like me that don't have that minimal asphalt experience to go out here and get approved, because obviously they don't want another insert driver here that sucks. So it's hard to get approved, but it's almost necessary that I have to go out. And like I said, we don't have like 40 grand to go buy a motor. We don't have 5-6 grand to go buy tires. We don't have a chassis or tranny or anything like that. So getting partnered up in the Mullins and even running a limited schedule, like current plan is to run a limited schedule. But obviously ARCA hasn't released their full schedule yet, and we look at the logistics of everything, and we're able to get the funding and we go run a full season and run for a championship, which with the Mullins, that's very competitive equipment, and it's pretty top tier. And with the experience now that I have at Daytona and Talladega, I feel like we have a good shot winning at both those tracks and having some pretty good runs at some of the intermediate and short tracks, which have a lot of experience at. And a fun fact here, with DGR going to Yoda, I believe we will be the only Mustang at Daytona.
Wow.
Because all the Fords run the Fusion body, and the DGR was the only factory support team for the most part, I believe, in ARCA. Rhett Jones and 30 might run a Mustang, but they've still been loyal to Fusion, the Fusions all year. So we might be the only Mustang at Daytona. I don't know.
Do you think that would give you any kind of advantage or disadvantage based on the body? Maybe, perhaps. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
We'll find out.
Interesting.
We won't find out till the last half of the race. But
Right. Yeah.
But the only time, because Mustangs haven't been tested there, and they're the Gen 6 Mustang bodies are what they are. So the only real data you can look at is Pocono, where Taylor Gray dominated in a Mustang. I'm really excited for Daytona. That's all I'll say about that one. But if we can go out and get some experience, and if we can get obviously if I fizzle out of the ARCA series, I fizzle out of the truck series, and there's a lot of competition. They have the Drive for Diversity program, which is a great program, but they're going head to head against that, because you got a lot of great up and coming drivers, and they already got the Toyota pipeline, they got the Ford pipeline, they got the Chevy pipeline, which I am obviously not a part of any. And you got those drivers coming up, and you got drivers that have the contact with these Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 companies that can just get check written for $1.3 million for a full season, and they're set, And so obviously, if I can move my way up and run part-time, run part-time ARCA and trucks this year and next year, and run part-time trucks in Xfinity in 23, 24, make a couple select cup starts, by time. In 2025, 2026, I'm 24, 25 years old, which that's not too old, but it's not, you're not a spring chicken anymore, You're not someone that a team can go and invest millions of dollars in and rely on for the next 15 years.
So I'm too old to start the dream, is what you're saying.
I mean, it's hard. I thought, to be honest, that I was too old at 19 and 20 to be running the ARCA. Because you got Taylor Gray out here, and Sammy Smith and Daniel Dye, those guys have been running since they were 16, 17 years old. So,
okay. I know that this is going to be I'm going to try to smooth it out so you can answer this. So I'm going to ask it in the most PR way. So in your age group, amongst you and all of your peers, what would you say the general consensus is as far as which manufacturer is the most appealing to young people?
So from my experience, and I know if you're wanting to get to, if I was looking at this just as my generation, and obviously it depends on demographic and where they're from, Indiana. Right. Indiana's a bit of a redneck state, and Ford, Chevy obviously is that American made, brother, yeehaw, you know what I'm saying, Hoss? And we got that going, and Toyota. Now look at this from a driver standpoint, and with the knowledge that I've assumed in the past 10 months, working around the ARCA and truck garage, Ford is very friendly with teams. I'll say that teams that elect to run Fords, Ford is very friendly with. I know that. And mainly trucks and Xfinity Cup. I mean, they're very friendly, even if we don't have direct manufacturer support. And Chevy too is very friendly too, not as much as Ford. And Toyota is not as kind, I would say. If you're an open team trying to run Toyota, you typically won't get much support, if any at all. And the other Toyota teams are typically just kind of give you the shrug if you ask them for help. I know. There was a scenario earlier this year where an open team, in one of the top 2 series, I'm not going to say which, put a car together, brand new car. It was a Toyota car, and it needed a part that a certain big Toyota team has that competes in the top 2 series. But because the smaller team wasn't a direct Toyota supported team, the big team wouldn't give them the part to help them out. And so I don't know if that's the team's orders or Toyota's orders, but I've heard them to not be so friendly per se. But as a young driver up on me, if I could and first off, my mom has a Mustang and drives the crap out of it. I love it, and my chair just broke again. But we're gonna switch this real quick, and so I love Mustangs. So, and my daily driver is also a 2001 Chevy pickup truck, and so I'm not manufacturer loyal, obviously, but Ford or Chevy, I say right now, as a driver that can come up through the ranks and as my generation too, is promising. I say that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
That's really cool to hear your perspective on that, because of course me, Dalton, and Jacob right now, we're all three die hard for specific manufacturers. Dalton left me all alone, and he's over there with Chevy now. Jacob loves Ford. And I'm the last standing Toyota boy. So I know. Yeah. So, I mean, of course I'm going to be down with Ford, down with Chevy. but hearing an actual perspective that matters when it comes to like, where you want to race or what program you feel like would be most fitting for you or people your age. Like, it's a really cool perspective to hear, I think.
Yeah, and that's something too, is I've gone from redneck country corn-fed boy from Indiana to now I'm trying to make it on a big stage country corn-fed boy from Indiana in 10 months time. I mean, that's really about, because it was late December that I reached out to the Mullins about going to the annual ARCA test in January, and from there everything's just up and away.
I think another thing too, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the show. Like, I've said this outside the show. You're such a marketable dude. Like, you have such a bright personality. You got. I mean, obviously you love pizza. Like, pizza is your world.
A little bit.
But like that helmet that you got is like
that one right there.
Yeah,
that one right there. My head's blocked. That one right there.
That's one of the most badass helmets I've ever seen.
I really like pizza. Like, I got my pizza backpack. I take to the track. I got 3 pizza hats sitting over here. I like pizza. I mean, that's
same here.
My pizza.
Pizza is your personality trait.
Yes, and it has been since like middle. Like, you can ask kids I went to middle school with. And who's wearing a bow tie?
Dalton had it on. Y'all missed it. He put on a Chevy racing hat.
Oh, so
I'm starting early.
By the way, I got a pizza shirt on that has like a pizza tie on it. So, and I have an actual pizza tie too. I wore a couple weeks ago.
Hell yes!
So,
I saw that.
Yeah. So I like pizza, and since middle school, like, I was known as a pizza kid through middle school because I had like pizza shoes. And I had shorts and pants I would wear, and I had a backpack, and it was mainly shoes that was like my first gig was the pizza shoes I had. And I have them sitting around here somewhere. Obviously, they're way too small for me now. But it just kind of became my personality because everybody can rate the pizza,
I have pizza. So you're racing at Daytona, right? What day of the week is that race on? Is that Wednesday or Thursday?
I want to say Friday.
Is it Friday?
No, it might have been Saturday. We're after the truck race because we had to push, or they were worried about the Daytona race going into the Xfinity time zone. I know the Talladega race actually went into the Xfinity time zone.
Yeah.
They actually haven't announced that as far as the ARCA schedule goes. Like what days we are, but we're actually normally after the truck race. And this year, I'm going to go back. I'm going to look. But I'm pretty sure we were Saturday at like 1 o'clock.
So my plan, I will be in Daytona Beach, Florida, for NASCAR weekend. I will wear my pizza Converses if you'll sign them.
Yes, 100%.
I will wear my Stay Sick pizza shirt if you sign them.
I can do that. It's February 19th. I don't know when February 19th.
Can we do one of those like kinky photo shoots where I'm like standing on you with my Converse?
We'll see when we get down there.
Okay. Yeah.
We raced on Saturday. Saturday morning. I believe it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock is when we raced. So I don't know if it's gonna be like that next year, but I'm assuming that's what they typically do. So.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be there. I will be there for your race. I will paint myself as a pizza and like just scream. Are you gonna have the pizza helmet?
I should. Unless I get like Burger King as a sponsor, then I'll have unless it come with like a pizza burger between now and then. I'll see what I can do. But as of now,
yeah, we're selling Daytona tickets here.
So, and obviously too, this is something that not many people knew. But when I went to Daytona, like nobody knew who I was. I'm like, I'm gonna fix this, man. I went into the fan zone. And I was there for an hour and a half. And it's funny because you got Chris Buescher and like Daniel Suarez. They were like on the stage talking, doing the Q&A. I was going around like these kids would like eat chicken tenders. I'd like sit next to them. I'm like, hey kiddo. This was like 2 hours before the race. I'm like, hey kiddo, who's your favorite ARCA driver? And they're like, oh. I'm like, here, they're like, I'm gonna help you out here. I'd pull out a hero card. Wah! I like slide it to them. I'm like, there you go. And then the dad would be like, hey kid, man, hey kid, hey Timmy, look, it's right there. And they'd be like, Brayton. I'm like, yeah, that's right, kiddo. And
that's me.
Yep. And I'm like, see that guy right there in the picture? That's a stud right there, And so I went around. I took pictures. I photobombed people. That was really cool. And there was some dude there wearing like I forget what it was. It was like he was wearing a kilt. And he was sitting on like a bench. I just sat up next to him like, "Hey man, nice kilt." He's like, "Hey man, nice fire suit." He goes, "You're not a driver." I'm like, "You bet I am, bud." I'm like, "If I could wear a kilt while racing, I'd wear one too." He's like, "Yeah, buddy." And actually, I made a lot of good friends that when there was another dude. I went up, had an awesome beard. I went up and talked about his beard for a couple minutes. And he actually turned out to be a professional like motorsports photographer and like a type of guy. And actually came to Talladega with us. He was in our pit and hanged out with us, took photos and stuff for us at Talladega. So that's one
sick.
cool thing about the whole experience. So,
dude, I'm excited for you. Dalton, Jacob, do you all have any specific questions?
I was waiting for Dalton to go first.
Well, you're muted, Dalton.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was. I'm sorry. All right, either I don't remember this from the last interview or the West Virginia shitty Wi-Fi, but if you ever win a race, do you have any like celebration plans?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, 100%. So they got realize too, I've raced for 12 years, like I said earlier, not much in the competitive equipment. I've only actually won one feature, and that was June 30th, 2018 at the Speedrome in a Hornet class, like a front wheel drive, where I started third and spun out first going to turn one, never looked back. And I won that, and I almost got in trouble because I was 14 years old or so, and no, I was 15 or 16 years old, and I basically said, I was like going through and thanking everybody. I'm like, to end it, I want to thank my parents for not using a condom and creating a winner. And I don't think I can go with that on live television. So, but as far as celebration goes, I want to do burnout. I've never done a burnout, like a victory burnout in real life. I really want to do one. And it depends, even if I win like a small, like dirt 8 model race that pays $500.
It doesn't matter, you're still burning it down.
I'm just gonna go out there. I won a B main last year at Brownstown because I was the only car to make it into the, because everyone else destroyed their stuff in the heat races. I was the only car to show up for the B main, and I started on the pole. And I won. I did a victory lap for myself. But so like if I ever won a race, if that was like, if it wasn't the fact we had like 8 more features to go that night, I would have sat in there and just destroyed the front stretch, burning it down. But although with ARCA and like I said, with the Mullins, I mean, I beat like hundreds of thousands of those little guys there, so I won. You know, that's something I've won. But the plan is I do little burnout because that's hard on motors and that's very hard on equipment. So obviously I can't exactly plan.
Bubba hurt himself. Bubba's done.
Oops.
Did he really?
Yeah, you don't see him like hobbling?
What the dude? You got a race Sunday. Like, chill. Sorry, Brayton. Go ahead.
Yeah. But like obviously burnouts hurt the motors a lot, and like a team of Mullins where we don't have manufacturer support, and they only have 2 or 3 motors sitting there between mine and Willie's cars. If I got to destroy a motor, that's my season. It would have been if I destroy a motor in burnout, it's gonna be the greatest burnout you guys have ever seen. But I'm gonna make sure it's at a level where we can almost afford it. Or if we're about to send a motor to go get rebuilt, I'm just going to destroy it if I can. But not destroy it, but obviously try not to destroy it. But you know, if I know we're about to send it off to get rebuilt, but I don't want to cost the team unnecessary money. As far as the victory lap goes, I want to do a Polish victory lap. That way I can like see the fans, waving the fans.
I was getting ready to bring that up. Yes.
And I don't know if I can physically like do this after a race, but I want to try to climb the fence and climb over the fence, and like lower myself down to like the group of fans, and just sit there and just have a great time. Hopefully somebody would throw me a apple juice because I was shotgun an apple juice or like something like a Yoo-hoo or something like I don't drink soda. But I might for victory lane. If somebody like throws me Mountain Dew, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna got a key, and you know. That was really good form right there. See that? And but yeah. So I assure you, it's gonna be crazy if I ever win a race on national television. I'll probably get in trouble for what I say afterwards, but it'll be worth it because that'll be like my one shot, my one plan. And I'm not wasting that either.
This
Well,
would be
I
a
was
good
gonna-
idea right here, though. It's like it'd be like Vince handing a Noah Bush apple after.
I'll eat it all in Victory Lane. We'll
Like
keep
if you-
throwing it at everybody.
Like if you go to Talladega, or if you went to Talladega, like I run dead ass straight to the Papa Murphy's, like concession stands, and I hurry my ass down there and just hand you one through the fence.
And this is something too I've wanted. So there's a lot of people that have helped me on my racing career, obviously. I have this in all my like short track cars. Is I have a confetti launcher in the car, and if I ever win a race, I just stick the confetti launcher out the window and turn it. I've only been able to use it like twice, because that's only past 4 or 5 years. But I'm planning to shoot a confetti launcher, and I want to get like one of those like old time like English scrolls that you open up like that. Have that in the car with me, and when they come, you stop on the start finish line, they come up and they put a mic in your face, like who do you want to thank? I'll reach into the car, get that old English scroll that's like 18 inches long, and it's like 3 feet tall. It's like everybody that's ever helped me in my career, and just start going down a list and have like 10 minutes of me just thanking like everybody, and then close the scroll up and throw it in the fans, probably give some kid a concussion, but that's my luck. But yeah,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think we said that the last time you were on.
I think so.
We talked about that, but we also talked about, I can't remember who said it, but we were like, a good victory celebration would be for you to like somebody hand you like the dough, just the dough for pizza, and you just like frisbee it into the grandstands. Yeah, I mean, like literally just send it into the grandstands. Some kid catches it, they get to take it home, maybe cook it.
What's something I do with the dirt stuff is I carry frisbees with me whenever we have driver intros for a big show. If they're out of car intros, I'll sit there and I'll like shine the frisbees. People don't really know who I am, but some people know who I am, and I'll go swing, and typically goes past the grandstand because I got a strong arm, and yeah, that's one thing I like to do too. That is the Pizza King. Yes, I am thy only and the one Pizza King. Oh, I don't know if you guys know. I know you guys have heard me the NSP. I'm kind of like a legend there.
Yeah.
Like I was on like I was like the homepage picture for a while.
Did RJ dethrone you?
We came around about the same time, but it just kind of I tried to stay involved and whatnot, but PR is not very happy of NSP and what it stands for.
Yeah.
So I got kind of watch what I do in there, but they're great people. I relate to those guys. Those are my people. I relate to them. I mean, I was in that group for like 2 years before I even thought about doing the ARCA stuff. So the fact that I've been there since like 2019, I think. So the fact that one of us became a guide, I'm not that guy, pal, but one of us made it to that level, which is so cool,
So we were terrified when we had RJ on. It was going to go one of two ways. Either they were all going to hate us or love us. I feel like it was like split down the middle. Mm-hmm. So I was happy. We have some really great guys who watch the show weekly now. I know Trill is from NSP. We got Tristan, a few other guys that have stuck around. So that's been absolutely sick. Mm-hmm. Brayton, I know you got to go, buddy.
Yep.
So I do appreciate you coming on. We're going to continue the show a little bit after Brayton leaves to, cover today's news. So Brayton, if you'd like to plug anything, your socials, dab on your haters, yes. The floor is yours, my friend.
I don't have any haters. Got them. First off, Twitter @TheOnePizzaMan. I think we're going to go with it. Website is BraytonLaster.com. My TikTok, I post funny stuff I probably shouldn't post. That's just @Brayton Laster. My Snap for all you single ladies out there. Okay, I'm kidding. And Facebook page is Brayton Laster Motorsports, and that's pretty much it. I have an Instagram page, it's Brayton Laster. I don't post on there very much, but I'm on there. I'm having fun, and yeah. Although my Snap, you can probably guess I say that because it fits the pizza trend. Although I made it when I was like 16, so it's Pizza Kid or blank Pizza Kid, not Pizza Man, which is really odd. Snapchat's a maker who can change that, but yeah. But thank you guys for having me on here. It's been a blast. I think we'll have to do a part 2.5 down the road.
I think so for sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on, buddy.
And by the way, if I ever win a race, we'll win Daytona in January or February. Daytona is in February. Surprise schedule alert. And Speed Weeks is in February. And if someone hands me like apple juice pizza rolls or not apple juice pizza rolls, but apple juice and pizza rolls. There we go. I'll happily eat or drink it. If I puke, I puke, but that's the plan. I expect somebody to snip that too. That snip me saying that when I win, and
You're
I don't
held
do
accountable for it.
Yes.
Hey, can I ask you like one rapid question before
One
you head
rapid.
out?
Let's bring it. Hit me with
All
it.
right. Are you going to Chicago Street Course next year, or have any plans on that?
I gotta look on my other schedules and see what happens and all that. But if I'm able, I'll go.
If you do, I have a place I want to take you. This is a place called Rosati's. Best I've ever had. It's Chicago pizza, but I promise you would love it.
I'm game, so let's do it.
All right, let's go.
All right, it's been fun. I gotta go turn left in a virtual simulator. I call it simulator because it sounds good. So thank you guys for having me. So
hey, take it easy, buddy. Good luck. Sheesh. I don't know that Jacob's still with us.
Barely. Oh wait, no, Cody.
Yeah. Yeah. Throwback.
Oh, yep.
RIP Jacob. All right. We're gonna take a quick intermission and then we'll be back because there was some big ass news drop today. Just gonna take a little bit of an intermission for like 30 seconds to reset the vibes, Jacob, and then we're at least just gonna cover what happened today. We have to talk about it. Are you there?
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said we're gonna take a quick little intermission and I'm gonna play a video, and then we're gonna come back, reset the vibes, and talk about what happened today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, man. I feel bad. I didn't really get to talk to Brayton that much, but NASCAR 21 Ignition like ruined my internet. I'm downloading that right now.
That'll do it.
You literally just wasted like that. You sacrificed your internet for nothing.
Wow.
You know how shitty that game is?
Have you played the next gen yet?
No, not yet. Wait, I heard it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I paid $20 for the game.
Well, to do my live streams, I had to sacrifice my PlayStation to plug in so I can have a dual monitor.
What's up,
Yeah.
Jesse?
It's been forever since Jesse came back on.
I know. It's because of you. He wanted to get away from you.
Thank God.
All right, here we go.
Papa John sucks. So does Pizza Hut. Domino's is better. Papa John's is ass.
Hey, look, that's Brayton wrecking.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
That guy was just here. Like he was just here. Shit.
Look at him. He's down there. It's our little pizza man.
Was that
getting
Megan?
absolutely yeeted? Yeah, it was.
That's when me and Coop, we literally walked up when that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Walked into the grandstands. It's crazy, man. It's great.
Yeah. Hey, I know that guy.
I know that dude. He's just here.
Boys. William Byron earlier today, just like my YouTube edit button that allowed me to do, he was in the he was out of the playoffs, and then NASCAR edited their tweet about that and said he's actually in the playoffs. Hendrick Motorsports, they upped their fine to $100,000. Took away the points deduction. Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric are now on the outside looking in. He goes from 11th place in points to 7th place in points. Daniel Suarez is now on the bubble. We're going to the Roval. Where we at?
I feel like we're all going to agree on this, so why don't we all just go one by one? I don't mind to go first. I feel like people will know my opinion on it. It's bullshit. It's just straight and utter bullshit. I think this might be the biggest joke since the Blaney window net thing at the All-Star race. I just don't see why. Okay, here's what makes it worse. All right. So Byron wrecked Denny at a race under caution. NASCAR did nothing to Byron during the race. They said they didn't see it. That's already making the entire – it made the entire control panel look like just jokes, clowns, man. I don't know what else to say. And so then we go through this. They penalize him. They penalize him, right, for his actions. And then when Hendrick appealed this, every single one of us were like, why? Like, why are you appealing this? Most people were asking why. Like, how are you going to appeal this penalty? And now they have completely reversed the penalty, which makes no sense. And $100,000, okay, let's be honest. $100K is chump change to Rick Hendrick. That is, I mean, he could set that shit on fire in front of him and it wouldn't bother him, right? Like, that's the way I feel about it. So this situation to me is just the biggest mess up I've ever seen.
Is this a scandal?
I would say that this is a scandal. I would say that this is just absolutely the worst decision NASCAR's ever made.
What do we I'm trying to figure out like how to like put this in the NASCAR files. Like where do we put this? Is it like a bad decision on NASCAR, a NASCAR like conspiracy? Is it a scandal? Like where do we like put this as far as like let's say that Spingate is like top, right? Where does this rank from like nothing to Spingate?
This, I would not put this above Spingate. I would put this very close to it though. Now here's the crazy thing, and Jeff,
I think this right here is a really good place to put it. Like with Gordon,
yeah, like you're bending the rules, right?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. And let me put this way, right? Jeff Gluck tweeted this earlier and said, and he mentioned that NASCAR has nothing to do with the appeal panel. Okay. And that is true. All right. We obviously something had to like, what was the defense? There needs to be something from here on out at appeal panels. They need to be live streamed, and we need to have the appeal defense scripted. We need an actual script of what the appeal defense was. Because, I mean, how do you defend this? Yeah,
release the transcripts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, have a transcript of the appeal defense. There's no reason that penalty should have been overturned. And now, here's the biggest part. And it's not just because I'm a Ford dude, right? The battle between Cindric and Briscoe is ruined. That's toast, right? Two new green guys going at it. That is toast.
What do you think that maybe that makes it a little bit better, though?
No, I don't. I think when they were even, it made it very exciting. Now Byron's in, right? And he's actually like what, 13, 14 points to the good? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just no defense for it. Like, I don't understand how they can walk
into
I think
he's 11 points positive
11
now.
Points. Okay, I just don't understand you can walk into that appeal panel and have a defense for that. Like, you wrecked him under caution. And now, okay, and here's the thing. Kyle Busch. Let's go back to Kyle Busch. Dalton, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. All right.
Ron Hornaday, huh?
Wrecked Ron Hornaday, right?
It's like,
what happened to Kyle Busch?
Got suspended, dude.
For how long?
Well, the whole weekend, pretty much. And about lost a sponsor.
Yeah, and how much was he fined? Do you remember?
Shit, it was a lot, actually.
It was $50K.
I feel like it was $100K maybe, or $250K.
It was. I think it was $50K. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. You're more.
He has 14 points up, by the way. I was wrong.
14 to the good. Yeah, so he's like 14 points to the good now.
So he was net. Yeah, he was under 11. That was my confusion.
The biggest thing about this is now NASCAR has set a precedent. Well, the appeal panel set a precedent. NASCAR has set a precedent to where now you can wreck someone under caution, and you can pay $100K and keep your points. So why is that scary to teams like Stuart Haas, Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, Penske? These gigantic powerhouse teams. That is no longer terrifying to them. Like, okay, walk up to Roger Penske and say, "Hey, you're fined $100,000." Roger Penske is just going to go, "Huh, yeah, whatever." Walk off. You're talking about some of the richest teams out there. Now, you get the smaller teams like BJ McLeod and everything like that. That's a big chunk of change, right? Like, I don't care what it is. You get the smaller team, that's a big chunk of change. But this right here is this is a fucking clown show. Like, I'm calling it what it is.
Jacob, I haven't heard you that passionate in quite some time.
I know, man. I don't even know what to say. Like when I saw this today, it pissed me off. And like I had no problem with William Byron. Like this isn't a William Byron issue. This isn't a Hendrick issue. This isn't a NASCAR issue, or this is an appeal panel issue. This is a NASCAR issue. Like you have to fix this somehow. You have to get this fixed. Like you cannot have this anymore.
What can you do? Like what could NASCAR do to right the amount of wrongs they already have?
Nothing now. Like you made your bed. You're gonna sleep in it. The only thing that you can do from now on is you need to live stream the appeal panels, and you need to have a transcript, and it'll be in the live stream. But you need to have a transcript of the defense, the appeal defense. I want to know what the fuck they said to get the appeal panel, because right now all I'm thinking about is Rick Hendrick wrote a check, and that's just straight up, right? Like that's
all we know.
That's what I'm thinking, right? And like most of everybody else is. And I'm not talking bad about Rick Hendrick. Like Rick Hendrick is one of the most prominent NASCAR owners ever. He is one of the best. I respect Rick Hendrick as a person, but there is no fucking way that no one else is thinking, oh, well, he paid him. You know, like, yeah, he paid him. Because what the fuck was the defense? What was the defense for that? There was no defense. I mean, even Willie B in the race interview couldn't even really defend it. I mean, he was like, yeah, I got into him. I didn't mean to turn him.
I mean, I almost feel like him admitting to doing it, like, covered his ass. And that blows my mind. Yeah. But it's like, well, at least he was honest, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but now, okay, let's say this. What if you're in Phoenix, right? We got the Final Four in Phoenix. And let's say one of the Final Four drives up and hits the driver in front of him under caution, and he loses his fucking position. You got to keep pace. The rules are you have to keep pace with the pace car. If you spin out, you're gone. So, I mean, there is a multitude of bad things. Yeah, you're going to be called a piece of shit if you do it, but guess what? 5-6 years from now, you're still a champion. Doesn't matter.
I think, but here's the problem, though. We never know what NASCAR is going to rule. There's a chance that driver gets banned for life, right? Like, if they were to do that, it's like, well, this situation is different because it was for the championship. Well, what? We're in the playoffs. Like, this is for the championship. I don't know. I piggyback you. I think it's a total joke. I feel like Brian France has landed back in Charlotte this week, like just from top to bottom. And that's me even talking about the Harvick thing.
Yep.
It genuinely feels like the France family is like back in control, like playing that political bias game with like, you know, whoever is in favor of NASCAR versus who is vocal against NASCAR. They've done it since NASCAR's inception. It's always been like, you keep your eyes down, your head down, and you're okay. Unless you're bringing in just a uber amount of money to NASCAR, you know, they're probably not going to be on your side with most of the time. How many times Senior got parked one time?
Yeah.
He got put in the penalty box. Think about the Darrell Waltrip and Dell Senior stuff where they were told, like, if you so much as like pass each other, you're both out of here. And that was meant at the time. Then Senior started making NASCAR a whole lot of money, and he was able to be vocal. But Dell Senior is never too vocal about NASCAR as a whole. But then we moved on. How many times did Tony Stewart get fined in his career? How many times has Denny been fined in his career? Now, I mean, looking at Kevin, how many times has Harvick been suspended or fined in his career? Dude, it blows my mind that we are 5 weeks into the playoffs. We've had drivers like get knocked out of the playoffs because of the malfunctioning vehicles. We had William Byron get kicked out of the playoffs because he was penalized, and now we have him right back in. So basically, at the end of the day, don't talk bad about NASCAR, but whatever you do on the track doesn't matter.
Exactly. I mean, you cannot forget they didn't even penalize him during the race. They said they missed it. And like, okay.
See, bullshit.
Fair enough. Whatever. All right.
Bullshit.
And I don't believe it, by the way. I don't believe it. But let's say they didn't see. All right.
I would love this.
Harvick, sorry, why not send Byron to Sunday to send the message, nothing to lose? Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. I mean, I don't even know, man. It's just a clown show. I don't know what to say. Like, I am so disappointed. That's it. One more thing. There is video proof of Byron throttling up to hit Denny. There is video proof. You can't get by that. You cannot get by that. So there's no rules anymore under caution. You can wreck anybody.
Do you think if Byron wrecked anybody else out on the track, he doesn't get us penalized?
I think. See, man, this is the part. Like, I want to remain respectable because I still want to have, like, I still want us to have a future in NASCAR, right? Like, that's the thing. And I mean, we have ends, right? Like, we've grown, but this is a situation where either you bow down or you call it like it is, and I'm going to call it like it is. I think if it was any other team besides Rick Hendrick, they would have been penalized and the penalty would have stayed.
Do you think it would have been like as far as a suspension, perhaps?
I think that it would have, yeah. I don't think this race called for a suspension. I don't think that Byron needed a suspension. Kyle Busch put Hornaday almost through the wall. That right there required a suspension.
When
right?
When it's my turn, I actually do have something to say about that.
Yeah, like he almost put him through the wall.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this required a suspension. I mean, he sent him into the infield. It wasn't like he hooked him right, But I think the points penalty and the 100K penalty.
I didn't mean to. I tried to mute. My bad.
God! Oh shit! I think the points penalty and the 50K penalty. Sorry, I said 100K was right on the money. I mean, it was right on the money, but it's just funny that after Byron had a bad week at Talladega, it gets reversed. That's what keeps popping into my mind. But come at me for saying it, but I'm saying what's on most people's minds, man.
Well, here's what I got to say about the whole thing. There's been a lot of speculation from fans, about Hendrick bias in the NASCAR industry. All the shit that came out today just definitely proved it. There's no doubt about it. And honestly, this is not the first time when William Byron got penalized in Texas, and he appealed it. At first, I laughed, wait, what the hell are you appealing? Like, you're just wasting your time here, buddy. But then 5 minutes later, I thought in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Somehow, some way, they're gonna get this overturned. Like, I don't know how, but I just have a damn good feeling. I want to say like 75% of me thought that it was hilarious, that I thought they were appealing for nothing. But then the last 25% thought they're gonna get away with this, and they got away with it, plain and simple. Now, Jacob, I'm really glad you brought up the Kyle Busch Ron Hornaday incident, because I actually have some theories to back up this Hendrick bias, because that's what I believe in. So now, should William Byron got suspended for that? Hell no. If he would have turned Denny Hamlin to the wall, yes. But if he spun him out, that's not suspension worthy. And to be fair, William Byron, he never does this. Like, this is literally the first time.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. But let's go back and prove some points. So you brought up the Ron Hornaday and Kyle Busch incident, okay? There are two other incidents that are very comparable to that.
Are you going to bring up Kevin Harvick and Robbie Gordon?
No. I'm going to bring up Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, 2012 Phoenix.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
No, and I had to thank one guy on my Twitter today. I can't remember his name, but this guy is actually a Jeff Gordon fan, and he even admitted this, and he brought up a great point. I want to give him a shout out. Just I don't want to steal credit. So let me just find his name real quick, and then okay. So his name's Scott at Sebastian Vettel on Twitter. He was a former Jeff Gordon fan. He's a Kyle Busch fan. He sent this to me like in my replies after I talked about it today. He brought up the Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer incident, and this is basically the same thing. So Gordon and Boyer, they get into it, racing incident, but Gordon's pissed off, and he waits on Clint Boyer to come back around, slams him into the wall. Now, remember, Boyer was, if he would have stayed where he was at, or that would never happen, he had been competing for a championship at Homestead the next week.
Yep.
And Gordon took that away. It was over. So, Bohr had every right to be pissed. Now, what did Jeff Gordon get?
Not a thing.
He got fined, but no suspension.
Yeah.
That,
He didn't. No, he didn't get fined. Matt Kenseth too.
That's another one I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Okay, so first you had Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday, and Ron Hornaday was the same situation. Ron Hornaday had to have a good race at Texas to be competing for a championship in trucks. Now, when that happened, I never really talked about the Ron Hornaday incident, but back when that happened, I thought Kyle was fucking stupid for that because it was very early in the race. It was just an incident. Hornaday was just trying to avoid a lap car that was slow as hell on the track. They got to the wall. There was hardly any damage on the two, and it was still early in the race. I'm like, I didn't even get mad. I was like, you know what? It's fine. He'll come back. Like, it's still a long way to go. And he starts getting to the back bumper and he turns him in the wall. I was like, what the fuck you doing? But anyway, that's not the point. But Kyle Busch took away Ron Hornaday's championship bid. And then Matt Kenseth did the same thing to Joey Logano Martinsville 2015. Now, as a diehard Joey Logano hater, was it funny? Yeah. But that fucked Joey Logano's chances of winning a championship. And I will admit, he should have been in a championship for that season. He should have been competing for a championship in 2015. And Kenseth ruined it. Now, granted, Logano did have 2 races to make all that up, but that put him in a hole hard for him to recover. This could eliminate Denny Hamlin's chances at a championship at any given second. So basically, what he did, or what him and NASCAR both did by not seeing the incident, quote unquote, and getting the point penalty overturned, this cost Denny Hamlin 5 points. And you guys know that every point matters now. Those 5 points could be a big factor for Denny Hamlin either this weekend or next weekend at Martinsville.
It's almost guaranteed that the championship is going to be decided by less than 5 points.
Exactly.
Well, he's only 21 points to the good. I mean, you wreck early in a race, you're losing a lot right there.
If something awful happened with Denny and he wrecks on lap 6, he's out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But again, those 5 points could be very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't have them anymore because of this. Back to Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer. All Jeff Gordon got was a fine, and that's it. No suspensions. But, I mean, I do get there's probably differences, and I'll bring them up. Like, I think maybe the reason why Gordon didn't get suspended, but Kyle Busch did, was Kyle Busch was actually on probation for wrecking Elliott Sadler at Bristol in the truck race a couple months earlier. Jeff Gordon was not on probation, but still, though, he cost Clint Boyer a shot at a championship. But then Matt Kenseth wrecks Joey Logano. He's not on probation, and then he gets a 2-race suspension. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's been a lot of Hendrick Motorsports bias. They just love to give Hendrick drivers a slap on the wrist, and that's exactly what they did today.
Well, not to take over, but also think about this too. And I forgot to bring this up. Put yourself in Suarez's shoes.
Yep.
You went this whole damn week thinking that you were in the bubble, right? Like you're pretty good to the points, and now on a Thursday, mind you, the race is fucking Sunday.
This fucks up everything.
Yeah.
For the for the playoff drivers, they have to completely change their strategies.
Yeah.
I'm sure they already had figured out Monday. Teams would get together okay, here's what we need to do for Sunday. Here's how we're going to survive in advance. This changes everything. Briscoe, he was in by 7 points. Great road course racer. Now he's in a hole. Now he can recover. He can recover from it. He can recover from it. But still, those points matter. And this changes everything. Dale Suarez is now in the hole too. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I would love Denny Hamlin's not going to do this, but I would love for him to just send William Byron under caution at the Roval this week just to prove a point. I feel like we all know that if the roles were reversed, no shot in hell Denny Hamlin gets that overturned. No shot in hell.
No.
But at the same time, I mean, it's NASCAR. You know how inconsistent they are with penalties and pretty much everything. So, I mean, I really expected nothing less. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to happen, but if William Byron ends up winning this championship because of all that, that's going to be – it's going to be the biggest black eye in the sport ever. And it's never going to heal. You're never going to recover from that. Yeah.
Yeah, if he wins, I thought about that too. Like if Byron somehow pulls it off and goes, even if he goes to the Final Four, but if he wins the championship, you might as well go ahead and put a big old asterisk on the side of his name for 2022. I mean, there's no like.
And listen, I love the playoffs. I love this playoff format. I mean, if y'all hate it, that's fine. But it's a clown show now. It's an absolute clown show. It just makes me lose interest in the rest of the season. You know, I mean, I already lost interest after the Bristol night race, but this, I just don't care anymore. If it's going to be this ridiculous, like, what's the point? You know, I don't know. Hitter bias.
On a scale of 1 to 100, what do we rate NASCAR for their decision making as of today?
27, like straight up 27.
Fucking negative 100. I don't care.
I'm gonna give NASCAR a big fat goose egg for their decision making. Yeah,
this year has been pretty bad. This year has just been they've been making up some rules.
And
that's the big thing.
There's so many playoff drivers this year that have their championship hopes ruined because of stupid shit. Kevin Harvick with the fire that from the Gen 7 car that was not on him, not on the team. Alex Bowman can't race this weekend because of concussion, because the cars weren't safe. Kurt Busch couldn't compete for the playoffs this year. And now you got this. I knew it was bad, but it just I keep thinking it never gets bad, but it keeps getting worse. Just embarrassing.
So I have a fun one for you. Let's say the championship Final Four. Let's say it ends up being Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, and Ross Chastain. Who does Denny for sure take out?
It's Ross, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Is it Ross over Byron?
It is Ross over Byron. I don't care. Like, okay, even Ross. It's funny because Denny's been so vocal like the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and Ross is like, yeah.
Well, yeah, Ross even disagreed with him on the safety. Like Ross hates Denny so much. Like he was like, yeah, he doesn't speak for all of us, man. But these cars are unsafe.
Yeah.
To me, that's hilarious. But yeah, he's taking out Ross first chance. He's taking out Ross in the playoffs.
Here's why he won't pay back William Byron if that is the case. So last night I watched some old LTC shows just to try to get clips for a special episode that might be coming soon this offseason. Stay tuned. I remember you guys talking about this when Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemrick got in the fight. One episode y'all were talking about how Noah and Daniel Hemrick made up.
Yeah.
And I remember like Cody asking the question saying like if Daniel Hemrick like texted Noah and apologized and Noah accepted it but still wrecked him, like would that make you a dick or would it be justified? Because Denny Hamlin and William Byron like already got over it. Like and you heard the interview at Talladega. Like Hamlin and William Byron, they had the discussion. They're cool now. So I really don't see Denny Hamlin fucking with William Byron unless William does something again. Just like the Ross Chastain situation. I mean, when Ross Chastain wrecked Denny at Gateway, he roughed him up the whole race, and that was it. But then a month later, Atlanta, Ross wrecks Denny again. Then he wrecks him 2 weeks later at Pocono. Basically the same thing. So I don't see Denny Hamlin doing any kind of payback for William Byron unless he does something again, like I said. But yeah, to answer your question, Ross Chastain.
I want to go back to this comment. There is not a series that has been without some kind of like crazy controversy so far. We got the truck series, Carson Hocevar.
The first truck race of the season. Yeah.
Oh, I remember how pissed you were. Like me and Cooper were driving to Daytona. Like I had Cooper was watching the truck race on my phone while I was driving the Airbnb, and I saw like the text like from my phone about how pissed off you were.
Dude, I was mad, man.
And I was watching like bits and pieces of it too. Like I'm like, how the fuck did they not make it back to the white flag? Like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like it's been every week something.
But
like.
Yeah, Carson Hocevar, another situation last week.
Dude, he has just became a total wrecking ball.
He started pissing me off.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I used to like find myself over in his corner, And now it's like, dude, you're never gonna win just because you can't like keep your truck off of other people.
Thank you.
And it's the same like the anger I have for Carson this season is how I used to be with Noah. The same exact way that I feel about Hocevar now is how I felt about Noah going into last season. And I even told him that to his face. I was like, yeah, dude, I don't really like you a lot, and I think that you have a lot of maturing to go. And he was like, no, I do. And I mean, look at him now. Like, dude is like, Ty Gibbs looked like he was going to be the championship favorite. And now it's like, well, I don't see anybody other than Noah winning the championship.
Yep.
Hocevar's got a long ass way to go though, dude. Like, I mean, we're talking, you have a championship caliber truck and you take out 2 back marker guys in consecutive weeks. You get kicked out of the playoffs, and now like you're just stopping on the track. Come on.
Like that, in my opinion, that calls for a suspension.
Yes, I
That
think
should be a
that
suspension.
is an incredible suspension. Like that is a poster like moment for what should be a suspendable.
And he doesn't even have to
charge.
fucking admit it. Like it's so
obvious. Yeah,
Yeah.
because as soon as they wave the yellow, at a minimum, they should have just absolutely freaking parked him.
Yeah.
Like for the rest of the race. I know there weren't many laps left, but he should have had a DNF.
Yeah.
If you manipulate the, I mean, I know you already brought this up, the spin gate.
Yep.
They manipulated the race, right? If you manipulate the race in any way, your ass should be suspended.
Oh,
the next
yeah.
race.
That's another inconsistency. What happened to that 100% rule?
Yeah.
I guess that don't mean shit anymore either. I mean, I guess we're allowed to dump people under caution, and we're allowed to not give 100% anymore too.
Dude, I don't even know what to tell you. It's just like I mean, we've all said it. It's a fucking clown show.
I was gonna say, Carson Hocevar went from being the truck series like Daniel Hambrick to just being a Matt Benedetto now.
Dude, that's actually a really solid like comparison.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, all right, like if you're Briscoe, okay, if you're Suarez, Briscoe, or Cindric, and Willie B is in front of you, do you send them?
I am.
I mean, I am.
But also, you got to be worried, like, well, is it going to wreck you and take you out of the race?
If I'm Austin Cindric or Chase Briscoe
You don't care?
or Suarez, they're young enough. Who gives a shit?
See, if I'm Suarez, I'm not doing it. I am going to have a good points day.
Yeah.
If I'm Briscoe or Cindric, I would hope that the 99 or the 24 never gets in front of me, like, for their sake.
Bro, the two's got rookie stripes. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know
But
what
I mean, you could say the same for Briscoe, right? Like, this is just his second season. Like, he's still young and dumb, and he's done it. He has done it countless times all
Done it with
season
Denny.
long.
Done it with Denny, right? Like,
Yeah,
just
did
brought
it with
out.
Denny, did it with Reddick. I mean, like, let's keep it going.
Todd Martin just absolutely destroyed Dalton.
No, he did not destroy me because that's fucking facts right there. I'm not sure going that shit. That's the truth.
Yeah, Zane. Zane's a good dude.
We love Zane here.
I love Zane Smith, but I'm pulling for Chandler Smith to win that championship.
How about, I mean, some other news we can
Great
cover?
segue.
Toyota does not know how to keep talent. Where are we at on it?
Bro,
Fuck Toyota. Fuck Toyota.
I saw some
Get
people
fucked.
defending
Get fucked.
Toyota's driver development. And I was like, what the fuck are you
What
defending?
the fuck? God,
Like
damn.
that's like being I don't know what to say. It's like being an army of one against an
Oh
army
my
of millions.
god.
I just don't know how you could defend it. All the drivers they've lost. Somebody made a list on Twitter. I don't know who that was, but somebody made a list.
It wasn't accurate. I don't know if you're talking about that meme where it was like TRD heaven and like it.
That was funny.
They put fucking Natalie Decker,
No,
JJ Yaley. I'm
was
like,
there
dude.
was an actual list.
Yeah, there was
That
like
was
an actual list.
Well,
Yeah.
Kyle Busch is the biggest victim. Chandler Smith now.
Joey
William
Logano.
Byron. Joey Logano, William Byron, Tony Stewart.
Carl Edwards.
Carl.
I don't know if I would say Carl Edwards. I mean,
I
Carl,
would. They couldn't keep him from retiring.
Yeah, I would say Carl. I would say
I blame whoever I can for Carl retiring.
Ron
I think
Preece.
about Carl every single day when I wake up.
Ron Preece.
Noah Gregson.
Eric Jones.
Bubba
Did we
Wallace?
say Suarez
Actually, no.
already?
Bubba Wallace is
Suarez.
back. Never mind. Yeah.
That's a good one. Suarez.
Yeah, they had to court Bubba back.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, man. They have absolutely destroyed. And I know you guys. Brayton mentioned
Ty
earlier.
Dillon.
Yeah. DGR is switching to Toyota next season.
Can I say this though? I'll kind of. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm kind of going to defend TRD development like here for a minute. Really, I feel like maybe the reason why they let go of so many talents because there's nowhere to go. But Joe gets racing, and that's about it.
Well, so do you think that their tank is too small for the well they try to pull from?
No, I think it's exactly what Brayton said earlier. He kind of gave a snidbit. How are you going to get people to put your badge on their car when you don't treat them good?
So do you think that Toyota is at fault for only having 6 cars in the Cup?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. What's the stop? Okay, let me ask you this. I'm not talking about Penske. I'm not talking about Stewart Haas.
Never will.
Never
will. Go Vols. Sorry.
I'm not talking about Hendrick, okay? RCR. What about these other teams out here that have switched from Toyota and went somewhere else? Like JTG Daugherty, right? What's to stop them from going to Toyota? What's to stop Colleague from ending the RCR partnership and going to Toyota? You know what I mean? Like, what's to stop that? What's to stop Front Row Motorsports from switching to Toyota?
I still have the dream that Denny buys FRM, but the way the FRM's starting to perform, I want them to stay a standalone and just do what they're doing.
They're doing good. I mean, that's my thing. Like, there's all these teams that could potentially switch over to Toyota, but in the past few years, who has Toyota had? Toyota had JGR, right?
Yep.
Michael Waltrip Racing until they screwed up. Okay,
Yep.
Let's call that a screw up. Then they went away. They had Red Bull Racing, pulled out. They had God, who am I thinking of? They had the Gaunt brothers. Remember that?
Levine.
Levine.
Furniture Row.
Furniture Row. I mean, you have these teams. Go back in the early 2000s. There were random Toyotas driving around. The 22 Cat car. Help me with the name of that. Who owned that team?
Bill Davis.
Bill Davis. Toyota. JTG Daugherty was a Toyota. There were a lot of Toyotas out there. You don't see that anymore. Nobody's willing to switch to a Toyota. So why is BJ McLeod running a Mustang? Why is Rick Ware Racing running a Mustang?
I would say for Rick Ware, it's the Stewart Haas because they did run split manufacturers last year.
And it was.
I mean, it is like Ford.
But it was Ford and Chevy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you never really saw a Toyota. It's weird to me that you don't see many Toyotas. And I would love to have somebody on from Toyota to explain this to me. Like, do they want to keep it like a closed circle? Do they not want to let people in? Now they have 2311, which
does that give Toyota an advantage though? Being able to fully focus on 6 cars versus 16 cars.
I don't think it matters because they just drop people, let them go. I mean, they could have afforded to keep Kyle Busch, but they didn't. So,
do you think that they don't care though? I mean, that's what I'm like. Do you think for Toyota, it's like, okay, well, he's getting old and washed. Truex is done next year, so we don't have to just drop him.
Yeah,
100% they don't give a shit. 100% they don't care. 100%.
Right. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's exactly what it is. I'm not saying that Ford's driver development's any better, right? Like Ford has an issue too. They used to have a truck program that brought people in. I mean, literally, Brad Keselowski Racing, Roush. They had. I mean, if it wasn't for Brad, Ross wouldn't be here. He might have been later on, or somebody else. But I mean, Ross, Cindric, Blaney. I mean, a lot of these guys. I just don't see why Toyota's doesn't seem like they care about youth. They care about they get a big name, they sign them. And I mean, really, if you think about it, it's not really much from what they've done since the beginning. Think about Dale Jarrett, right? Michael Waltrip Racing, you got this new guy like David Ruderman. It's this new dude that we're bringing in. And the next thing you know, they're like, guess what? Dale Jarrett's driving for us next year. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know.
We're turning back into an anti-Toyota podcast.
I'm glad to be a member now. Like, it feels so damn good.
Before you, Dalton, we were like kind of an anti-Toyota podcast.
No, I went back and watched that episode. Now, I wish that we could do it part 2, so I could just shit on them now. Like, it feels
want to
good.
get your retribution.
No, after Pocono, I said fuck Toyota. Like, I'm ready to just lay it all out now.
How many penalties will Chase get for the way he's been talking about NASCAR safety on a new car? I don't think anything.
He ain't
at
gonna
all
get
for
shit.
Chase.
He's a fucking hinder driver. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that Toyota or Chase, I don't think that he will get penalized, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know if a Hendrick driver would be safe if they were to be as vocal as Kevin Harvick.
I want to pull this one up. I've heard that argument. Ford does have to have development. Every manufacturer has to have some sort of development. Used to, I mean, you look at Joe Gibbs, I mean, they had KBM, right? You had KBM, they still have it, KBM to Xfinity to Cup. They have the perfect food chain. Like, it's the perfect food chain. You always have to have somebody that's ready to fill the shoes, because then you're looking for somebody else and you got to steal someone. Case in point, the Reddick situation with RCR. Denny Hamlin had to go outside the box to find somebody. If you have somebody that you bring up and you invest in, you can put them right in your car, right? That's the biggest thing. And that's how it used to be. I mean, think about back in the day. You know, you had a few drivers that would switch it up. You know, they would race for somebody in what was in the Busch series, and they would go somewhere different in the Cup series. That's always happened. But now, what we're seeing is you'll race for this guy for a few years in the Truck Series, and then you're like, fuck it. And then you go this place in the Xfinity Series, and then you're like, oh man, I got a great opportunity here, and they go to the Cup Series. Noah Gragson. Look at Noah Gragson's career, right? Coming into the trucks with Kyle Busch, right? Showed up, did okay, goes to Junior Motorsports, okay, and now he's going to Petty GMS. And that's the thing. There's not really food chains, even with Chevy anymore. I mean, GMS, the Petty GMS train, I feel like they're going to have a good program later on. But I think RFK needs to get a truck program. I think it's the first thing they need to do. And they have one. It's Front Row Motorsports. They need to have more trucks in it. They need to have an Xfinity Series program. That's how. Do
you think it's safe to say that FRM is Roush's like program if FRM has a Cup team?
Zane Smith in the 17 this year proved that when Buescher had to miss. I mean,
you don't think Zane Smith comes up and like takes the 38 or the 34 when like McDowell retires?
No, he will. He will.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You think he goes to Roush?
I think he goes to Roush. But that's a long time from now.
Brad's in his 40s, isn't he? Like early 40s?
I don't think Brad is in his 40s. I think Brad's still in his late 30s.
I think he's like 37, 38.
He might not have too long either. Like,
I don't think we can expect Brad to race a very long time. Brad is 38.
38. Okay.
38.
So he's still got about
30,
7 years.
He'll be 39 before the 500.
And yes, Ford does need more Xfinity drivers. King of the Trail. I agree.
Wait, so there's not even going to be that many Fords and trucks next year, I don't think. Is that correct?
Well,
so the way it's looking is no. You got DGR moving away.
So where does that put Haley?
Haley goes to the 98. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, the 07. All right.
What happens to Riley?
He goes away.
You think so? You think that money's going to go away?
Riley's had 2 years in that car. And I'm not disrespecting Riley in any way. Like, Riley obviously has talent, or Tony Stewart wouldn't have put him in that car. But it didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Like, that 98 car went from winning a quarter of the races in a season to winless. And, I mean, he's got the sponsorship money because that monster logo's on the hood. So, yeah, Haley's going to that. And what proves it is that 07 car. Yeah, you look at that 07 car, look who's running that car. You've had Briscoe running it, you had Custer running it, they've had Xfinity. Yeah, she's the 98 for sure. And Ford's going to keep her because she's great.
Number one for 2021, number one most marketable female in all of sports.
Yes, and they will keep her. And whether she does good or bad, here's the thing about Haley though, she is the most marketable. Haley could go out there and suck, and I'm not foreshadowing anything. I'm not saying that she is, but she could actually go out and actually suck, and she could probably keep that ride for a number of years, possibly move up
to the 4. Just straight. Yeah, let's take her straight from the trucks. Throw her in the 4. I hope that she's the one who fills Harvick's seat.
I think Harvick foreshadowed that a few years ago. Harvick said that she was a talented race car driver, and he would love to have her.
Dude, and I will die on this hill. I think Haley is an incredible driver, and I think Haley could have success at Vegas, personally.
I hope she does.
I mean, that 07 car can be fast. I mean, we've seen it. It's one, right?
Cole Custer.
But I don't think she's going to come out and be anything.
Hey!
No.
I don't know that cute feet necessarily qualifies you for a cup rod, but I know Chase has cute feet, I bet.
All feels nice. Fuck. All feels right in the world now. Joe's back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those situations where
I feel like one more season of trucks would be a waste of time.
I mean, she's had 2 years in the trucks?
Yeah.
She can, I mean, if you want her to have 3 years in the trucks, she can very well have 3 years in the Xfinity Series. There's going to be rides open up at Stewart Haas. And I don't think she's going to go into the 4, but I do think I know where she's going to go.
41 or 10?
It's the 10, dude.
No way. We did not make that stereotypical.
It is going to be the 10. They will do it. I promise they will do it.
Dude, no, I feel like that just makes the 10 like the girls' ride.
Yeah, but that's what they're going to do. That's what they'll do.
I hope not. You're probably right, but I hope you're wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm just going off what I've heard about who may be going into the 4.
Yeah. RFK bringing back the 26 4.
I promise I won't leak it, but I feel like I know who you're talking about now.
Maybe.
Bro, you don't know nothing, man.
Eric signed 2 more. That is true. He did sign a multi-year deal.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Dude's the Brett Favre. He's our new Mark Martin.
You think so?
Yeah, dude, he's not going away.
Like, he's going to retire 15 more times.
Yeah,
he's going to be 67 years old.
It's going to be 2039. He's going to go on a 5-race win streak and almost win the championship.
Mark Sonan.
Thanks for putting that together,
dude,
man.
I would not be mad about that at all. Anything else that we can cover from this week before we end her out here this evening?
Harvick.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. So
I thought we were going to try to avoid it, but I'm here to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm here. We got to, right?
Now, everybody fill me in, okay? I want to know where this conspiracy shit is coming from. So,
Pause this shit real quick. Pause this real fast. Sarah, I do not believe that you are a real person. Reply with the letter Y if you are real.
That's just not going to do it.
I don't think she's real. I think she's a bot. Everybody in the Discord keeps talking about it. Everybody in the chat keeps talking about it. I'm going to end the debate.
It's 69 megabot.
All right, now continue.
Okay, so Jacob, I want to know why you're thinking this could be a conspiracy. So somebody fill me in, okay? All I know is that Harvick got a penalty for modifying a spoiler.
Okay, here's what I want.
Is there any more facts I need to know?
I want Cody to explain why everybody thinks it's a conspiracy, and then I will explain why I don't.
Throughout NASCAR's storied and lengthy history, they have often sought out to.
Oh my god!
69 mega!
69 mega! Oh shit!
I think Sarah is real.
No, dude, no way. I just said
Sarah's
the
real.
letter Y. Like, all she had to do
Dude,
is
Sarah,
punch the letter
no,
Y.
Sarah's an OG.
You said
Sarah,
dirty.
Sarah comments on our videos after we're not live.
Why?
Maybe Sarah's a fan. Sarah, are you a fan? Confirmed 69 mega. Anyway, sorry. Throughout NASCAR, look, see, Sarah's his girlfriend. His e-girl. Sarah is part.
That is a good theory.
Sarah, say why. 69 mega. Anyway, throughout NASCAR's history, many previous incidences within NASCAR's controversial decision making has proven that if you are not comfortably laying in bed with members of the France family, then you oftentimes have a lot more bad luck than other people. And I feel like Rodney Childers has been very, very, very vocal and critical on NASCAR's handling of the car. I feel like he has probably been more vocal than literally anybody else because he drags them through like the sticks and the stones and the mud and the flames and the glass and the bed of nails each week, what feels like. Do I think that Harvick probably cheated, or not cheated, but do I think that they had a modified part on their car? Sure. And I think if you were to pull 20 of the 36 charters every single week, you're probably going to have over 50% with modified parts on their car. But I think that in Charlotte, they had their fingers crossed when they made the decision that they would for sure pull Harvick for R&D. So I think that yes, SHR was guilty for what they did, but I think that NASCAR made sure that Harvick was going to be brought back. I think that they made sure of that with their fingers crossed.
So
the conspiracy is that NASCAR is either straight up lying about it being modified, which I definitely think that it is modified, but it's like a conspiracy that NASCAR made sure to punish Rodney Childers and the 4 team with whatever ways they could.
See, here's where I'm at. Like, I feel like it's the same situation of what happened to Brad after Atlanta and Michael McDowell after Pocono or Indy, one of those two. I think it was just like weird timing. I think like Harvick is guilty, but like the timing was kind of weird just because of how outspoken he's been on the safety of the cars and everything like that. But what's weird to me is just Rodney Childers and Kevin Harvick's tweets that they've sent. And like Harvick saying strange or.
I want to get to that. I think every single person on Twitter, most people, have misinterpreted what Kevin Harvick said on Twitter.
I feel like, yeah, I'm with you.
Well, I think when Kevin Harvick said interesting, it goes back to his crappy ass parts. I think that's what that means.
Yep.
I do not think that NASCAR. I just got done calling NASCAR clown show for the William Byron incident, but allow me to be a NASCAR apologist for once. I'm going to take Cody's role. All right, I'm going to take Cody's role for once.
Oh, how the turntables!
I know. I think that what happened was, I don't think this was any different than what happened to Brad or Michael. I think that they pulled his car, he modified the deck lid, he was caught penalized, he got the same exact fines as they did, right? If NASCAR wanted to fuck Kevin out of the season, right? I feel like that would have happened in the first round. Not because of the parts, but they could have done it at Darlington, they could have done it at Kansas, and they could have done it at Bristol. The reason Kevin Harvick is not in the championship is because of the tire, right? And I'm not going to blame it on the pit crew because, according to Rodney, it wasn't the pit crew's fault. It was the wheel. So I think they're saying it's interesting that they are getting fined for modifying the crappy ass parts, not the fact that NASCAR penalized them for speaking out on the car itself.
Okay,
so go ahead.
I need some facts here. Someone said that Harvick has been randomly taken back to the R&D center like 3 times ever since Darlington. Is that true? No,
He's been taken back 3 times all season. I looked this up yesterday because they do not take cars back every single week.
But like not. I know they took his Darlington car back to the R&D like because of the fire.
Right.
I didn't know if they took it back after Kansas and Bristol or Texas. Okay.
I feel like Darlington would have been a great time to take the car back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I like Darlington was a perfect time to.
I think any time that there's a major crash or like a major malfunction, I think the NASCAR, which they might, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I know, but I feel like they definitely should. If they don't, always take that one back.
Well, did they take it back after Darlington? Was Darlington one of the tracks they took it back, or do we know the tracks?
So what I did was I went through Bob's Twitter and I just searched R&D and I found every tweet. At least I feel like I found every tweet where Bob was like naming the cars that were selected. And I don't remember the tracks, but I only counted 3 Harvick ones. And I feel like 2 of them came in May. They were like 2 weeks apart in May.
And I feel like that's a pretty good number. Like it's not insanely high.
I feel like it is, though.
You think 3 is high?
I do.
I don't think 3 is that high.
Because that's a little less than 10% of the season.
Well, let me ask this. Were most of those taken? Well, you don't know. You just said that. Never mind. I bet most
What were you going to ask?
I bet most of those were taken before the incident where he started getting mouthy.
2 of them came in May.
2 of them came in May. Okay,
Yeah, so he was taken back to R&D twice in the same month, which I feel like is probably a little bit like overkill.
That might be a little crazy. That might be a little nuts.
But and of course, like, you know, like I can't correlate that to being, you know, anything more than. I do find it ironic that no other manufacturer has been penalized. I will say that.
It is just Ford. And welcome to my world.
Yeah, and I feel like that's historically like just a thing. Is Ford shady or is NASCAR shady against Ford? I mean, we'll never know either way on that. All we can do is speculate on either side. I think everybody probably has their strong opinions on it. But
David Ford, it was them cheating Yoders. Now it's them cheating Fords.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it feels this season. But also, it's not like Ford's had like a crazy amount of success this year.
No.
Ford has 7 wins on the season. Toyota has 6, and Chevy now has 19, if that's correct, I believe.
Yeah. Sadly. But that's where I'm at. I just don't think.
Rodney Childers is the one who would have gotten probed. So I don't know that Harvick got probed.
Like I said, I just don't think this correlates. I think this is reaching for the truth.
Truex had also been taken back 3 times this season.
See,
I don't know. I
feel like those are 2 guys that take back 3 times. I honestly do. I feel like I'm not just saying that for my defense. I'm feeling like those guys were 2 perfect candidates to take back 3 times. Why? Because they've been in the sport long enough. You can take their car back and you can get a lot of data from them because they're more experienced.
But it's supposed to be a random draw. It's not NASCAR's picking.
Yeah, I mean, random draw my ass. They're definitely taking back if they want to.
Okay, so you're telling me that they took Harvick back on purpose?
Yeah, they took Harvick on purpose, I think, but I don't think it was to penalize him. I think he cheated. I think they just modified a deck lid and got caught.
Godspeed, brother. I mean, I think that, at least I hope that they genuinely did modify their deck lid. I do hope that, just for the sport's integrity. But I think that it was kind of like entrapment in a way, I guess.
Is that why you're wearing the 4 hat tonight?
That's exactly why, yeah. I actually just put it on if you didn't notice.
I did not notice that. I noticed you had the A-Shock hat on earlier now that you said it.
Yeah.
But hey, we have a Denny Hamlin tweet alert.
Uh-oh.
What did Denny say?
So, you know the Matthew Burrows guy on Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, he tweeted that 34 minutes ago. He said, "I guess I need to know what the public perception is. Do people incorrectly think NASCAR handles its own appeal hearings, or are people suggesting the independent panel is corrupt?" And some guy named Martin replied, "I mean, it feels like some level of corruption must be going on, considering this happened right after the 100-point penalty for Kevin Harvick." And then Matthew replied, "Let me offer." Let me offer that we're thinking too much about Hamlin and not at the notion that NASCAR over-penalized Byron after they themselves whiffled the call as it happened. The 24 likely would have made up some of the spots if sent to the rear, and they were never given a chance to." Then Denny Hamlin replied to him and said, "I was second. I restarted 22nd. I was the only person penalized."
Yeah, that's a dumb. That's a bad fucking take. That's a BFT.
For Denny?
No, for Matthew.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bad. I'm reading it right now. He wasn't over penalized. The penalty was fucking perfect.
I mean, there should have been a point penalty of some kind. I mean, a suspension, of course, is like way too fucking much, but I think maybe 15. Wait, so was it 25 points at first?
Say that again?
What was Byron's point penalty, like 25 to begin with?
Yes.
It was. Okay.
Like maybe 15 or 10?
I think 25 was fair.
Yeah, I think 25 was more than fair.
Because, I mean, you could have looked at that as like, okay, they parked him.
Well, we also just got done saying if you do that under caution, you deserve to be suspended.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they go into the wall.
What if a track worker would have been like checking out the infield? Like, let's say that they were like, "Hey, while we're under caution, will you go and look in the infield and see if there's any debris?"
You mean like they were doing with the fire at Dagan? Yeah. That's a good point.
He just sends Denny through like the infield and takes out like the whole fucking turn 1 AMR crew. Like,
so should that result in suspension? If you wreck someone under caution, should that result in a suspension no matter what?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
Because that is supposed to be the safe time of the track.
Yeah.
They don't throw a red flag for track workers to go out there and pick up debris. They're under yellow. So, I mean, if we're just like, think of the Juan Pablo incident, right? Like that happened under yellow. He was going way too fast under yellow.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
But he was trying to catch back up to the field, which, I mean, I'm not even
Everybody
arguing
does.
that.
Everybody does, yeah.
But that is too fast for yellow flag.
Yeah.
Like 3 people could have died that night from that incident. Him and the 2 drivers of the truck.
Yeah.
Because of negligence under yellow.
I think that's a fantastic point. So I would agree with you two that if you wreck someone under yellow, you should be suspended for the next race.
Chat, where are you at on this?
Well,
should you be suspended for wrecking under yellow?
And they kept another fuck, I can't speak. And another point I forgot to talk about. Remember Johnny Sauter and Austin Hill at Iowa?
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about that too.
Johnny Sauter got suspended for that.
Yeah. No, but they should have.
Well, nah, that's just an unfortunate situation.
I don't think you should ever be driving that fast under yellow.
I do remember.
I think yellow should have a speed limit. And then once the track workers are off, then you can catch up to the field. Sure. Like coming to green. Sure. But I think if there's a presence on track, that's where I think the virtual safety car would really come in handy. If NASCAR could just push a button and make everybody's car run the exact speed they need to run just for that moment.
I'm about to bet my life that y'all are not going to remember this. Do you remember after that incident that NASCAR parked a pace car right next to the jet dryer during every caution that they had to go clean up? Do y'all remember that?
I don't.
Yeah. Right after the incident, they made like a mandatory pace car for the jet dryer. Like if someone blew a motor or wrecked and leaked oil everywhere, they would have to go out there and clean up, of course. They would park the pace car right next to it and follow it like as they move so that people could slow down. I remember the 2012 Spring Bristol race that year, and after the first big wreck happened with like Casey Kane, Kyle Busch, Harvick, and Marcus Ambrose, and I think Carl Edwards, I believe. We were watching the jet dryers like clean up all the debris, and they parked the pace car right next to it, and they stopped that for some reason. Like you never see that anymore. It didn't last long, I don't think. But yeah, just fun fact of the day.
Listen, if I have to drive 40 miles per hour in a construction zone, I don't think it's too much to ask that drivers run 65 when they're going through a construction zone too. I think this would be actually a really good way to start implementing the virtual safety car into NASCAR. But I think it should only be used under caution in this situation. I don't think that it should be used like on pit road or anything like that. But I think when we're under caution, to take it out of the driver's hands, because clearly they're not showing that they have the integrity to do it themselves. You can push down on your throttle all you want, but it's what's that called? What is that called that they put on a throttle, like in a go-kart? A governor.
Governor, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like a virtual governor on the throttle when they're under caution, they have no way to go any faster than whatever the set speed is. I don't think that there would be anything wrong with that.
I mean, I don't want to see something implemented from F1 and NASCAR, but it's not any better right now. So, I mean...
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, guess what? It's pretty fucking broken. Yeah.
Real
any
quick,
of y'all changing your Roval pick because of the ruling?
You know what?
No, I'm Briscoe.
I picked William Byron, but fuck William Byron. I'm changing it to Kyle Larson this weekend.
Oh,
you still went Hendrick, you dick.
I like that pick. I picked Chase.
Larson's the only Hendrick car I give a damn about. Like,
what about Chase?
Fuck Chase. Fuck his fans too.
Chase is a pretty good shot at winning this race.
Yeah, very great shot.
He's got a good shot at winning.
Unfortunately, I'm about to waste 3 hours again.
I could see Chase winning next week or this week. Real quick, for some reason from Monday's episode, I have had Dalton's purple Nike shirt in my head.
Why?
I don't know, but just don't wear that again.
Why?
That's just not you.
It was like too clean cut.
Dude, it was so fucking.
It wasn't
weird.
Branded enough, right?
Yeah, I seen him wearing it, and the first thing I wanted to say was what the fuck are you wearing? But
you do have a weird glare right now.
Like you always
see it. Look above his left shoulder.
Yeah, it is. You got some smudge
on your webcam, I think.
Webcam.
Oh,
do you not see it? Look over your left shoulder.
Yeah, I see it. It's probably a fucking ghost touching my ass. I don't.
That is kind of strange.
I bet it's from his greasy ass thumbs. He probably touched his webcam while eating pizza.
No, it was when I was screaming 69 mega last week.
Oh, that probably is what it is.
Yeah, it's nose oil.
No, I swear to God, it's a ghost, guys.
No,
ghost.
Thank you, Trill. A tra. It's the spirit of Dale paying a visit.
Oh, that's not Dale.
It's probably
no, other side.
Fuck. What's up, Dale?
Yeah, it's NASCAR. It's Rick Hendrick, actually. He's metamorphosizing into your room.
That's Tim Richmond.
Oh.
He's trying to whip his dick in my ear.
Well,
that's the end of having any Hendrick driver on this show. Yeah. That's it. That's a wrap, guys.
Any other topics either one of you boys would like to cover?
I'm honestly, I feel like that's all I got to say. Shout out Brayton. Thanks for him coming on.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate you, sir.
Don't ever be content.
I knew as soon as he said it, I was like, man, I need to let Jacob get this off his chest now.
Dude, I just don't want to ever. Okay, man. And I'm saying this as almost a 25-year-old man. And Cody, you can agree with me. As soon as you're content with something, the motivation just dies.
Oh yeah,
dies, bro. And I'm saying that because I have made that mistake. So don't ever be content. In the chat, don't be content. Don't ever be content. Go for your dreams, man.
We are getting a clean Roval. I don't know why I almost said Dover. We are getting a clean Roval.
You pulled a parv?
Yeah. I'm excited. The weather's supposed to be really nice. And by really nice, I mean it's supposed to be in between 49 and 69 degrees. That's a really big variation.
Nice.
But hopefully we land somewhere closer to the 69. Nice.
Mega.
Thank you, Mother. I do appreciate you.
JKL motivational minute. I do like that.
This should be a segment.
Yeah. The power hour with JKL. They're the power minute.
The power minute.
60 seconds of success with JKL.
Dude.
No, 69 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you say, Dalton?
69 mega seconds with JKL.
69 mega?
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Hold on. As always, we are the LTC out of East Tennessee. As always, I'm Cody, your host with the most.
I am JKL.
Dalton Ratty Bush.
This episode, as always, is brought to you by our wonderful sponsors over at 69 Mega. 69mega.com, where you can get 69 megas for $1.
Are you tired of sucking ass at coming up with slogans? Suck some real ass with 69 mega today. Join us now.
69 Mega was actually the ones that paid the appeal panel off to get William Byron back into the points. Shout out 69 Mega.
I would like to thank 69 Mega for coming in, stepping in, and offering to pay Rodney Childers' $100,000 fine. Really thank you guys for having us back in this trying time.
This just in. It comes in that the number 4 card's modification to the deck lid was not actually a modification. It was a bumper sticker that said 69 Mega!
Comes in. Get it?
I don't have anything right now, bro.
Damn.
Why did you-
69 motherfucking mega.com! Join now! Do it!
Do you feel alone? Do you ever find yourself wondering, how will I ever find love? Well, you can find love tonight on 69mega.com with promo code LTC69mega.com ad read promo 294206987, and you can get one free message to any 69 mega babe on 69mega.com.
Are you tired of fucking your cousin at fathersonly.com? Fuck some real women with 69 mega today. Join now. Do it!
Dude, I bet Richard Petty was on the 69 Mega train back in the day. I saw him come into Victory Lane, and I was like, that's a 69 Mega guy right there.
No, Jim Richmond is a 69 mega guy. We all know that without a fucking doubt.
Yeah, rest in peace, homie.
They didn't, but you can visit 69mega.com to order your free trial pack of LTC condoms. Just use promo code LTC69.
Everyone's got homework in the cult this weekend. You must visit 69mega.com.
I'm about to buy that domain and just like reroute it to the LTC website. Hey, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there is a website for LTC. It's LTC.com. Fun fact. I don't think I've ever said that before, but there is a website.
That is a first. We popped the cherry on the website.
Yeah. What is happening? Oh, that's our paid ad read that we have to do for 69mega.com.
Yeah, they pay us lots of money.
I
got
yeah,
to eat bologna today.
You got to eat where?
Bologna.
Oh, dude, really? Fraud?
No, I don't have money enough for fry.
Merch is on there. I don't know if the merch actually is on the website. Now I'm curious.
I don't think there's anything on the website yet.
Maybe he's talking about 69 Mega. Does 69mega.com have merch? Is that what you're saying?
It might. I launched this website on February 28th. No, the merch is not on there. Is the merch in our link tree? Did I put it in the link tree? I hope I did.
No, you did not.
Damn, son.
Damn it, Cody.
Dude, I know. Dalton's had it out for me this
You
week.
suck ass this week. You really do.
I'm struggling. I'm just trying to get by, dude. I'll make a fucking intro title for this podcast, and maybe it'll get played.
Dude, I'm looking up 69mega.com because I've never actually visited the website.
Your phone immediately just gets a virus somehow.
That's probably I can't find it, bro. I can't find it.
Did Mike Tyson give Dalton that shirt?
The 69 mega.
I am. I don't think it actually exists.
Yeah, I think it's fake.
Yeah, I would hope so at this point. I'll look into actually buying that domain because that shit would be hilarious.
There's a song called 69 Mega.
Is there?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's by DJ LCDOSP official. What the fuck is this?
God, there's a lot of shit on. There's a Mega Millions for the New Jersey Lottery.
Hey yo.
What is 69 mega? Was it 69 mega? Or mega 69?
I don't remember. We always say 69 mega. I think we flipped it. That way it wasn't like exact to the thing.
I'm gonna look up mega 69.
Okay, well, hey, chat. Thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Just trying to find it.
I know, yeah. I appreciate you all and love you all as usual. Shout out Brayton, the pizza guy, the pizza man, the pizza boy, the pizza myth, the pizza legend. Yeah, and what's it to you, Ryan? I've got to make money too somehow, buddy. It's Mega 69 is what it says at the bottom. Yeah, we always say 69 Mega. Uh-oh. Did you find 69 Mega?
No.
Damn.
Yes, I found a mega. I found a Mega Charizard X Jumbo card from Pokemon card.
Let's get. Oh my gosh, what's happening?
What the hell?
We're back. I didn't win.
Darn.
But we're back. We had a great late race run. Had a great pit strategy, man, and looked to get. We had 3 cars. Looked to get 1, 2, and 3, and someone decided to throw a bad block, like an ARCA bad block. Like we were going 197, he was going like 187. Dude just comes up, and then we hit him, and then he still comes up, and then puts us in a wall. But hey, we still got 2 top 10s.
What did you race? Like
it was next gens at Talladega.
Oh shit! Okay,
dude, I haven't played iRacing in so long. I miss it.
So it's fun. That sounds terrible, but I used to play like a lot of Minecraft and like Valorant and whatnot. Recently, I was big in Rocket League for a while, and then you go and you race like 2 ARCA races and a truck race, and all of a sudden you end up finding yourself iRacing like 6 nights a week.
Do you play on any consoles, or are you a PC guy?
I was big in the consoles. I had a PlayStation 3 and played it actively until like 2019, which that was rough because we never bought PS4. We didn't need one. I mean, I still had friends that played with a PS3, and by the time they started to get out and Christmas rolled around, my mom's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I want a computer, Mom." And I've always like played Minecraft on a laptop. I've always done all my other gaming on console. But it's about 2017, 2018, I started kind of beginning the PC gaming, and then 2019, PlayStation that killed itself, and then I was like, all right, we're
back to real life.
Yep.
I think, Jacob, in honor of you, I think I might buy NASCAR Heat or Ignition.
I mean, like, what could go wrong? Like, it's a game with next gen.
I could totally flush away $20.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen to me.
Well, it's exactly what my roommate did on my birthday when he bought me that game.
It's going to sound terrible, Jacob. As many times as I've watched the show, and as many times as I've been on the show, you know, I didn't know your name until like an hour and a half ago. When like Cody said Jacob, I'm like, I have no idea who Jacob is. I know who Dalton is. I know who Cody is. So I'm going to assume that. Like,
JKL is Jacob.
So, and I followed you on Twitter. That's the worst thing. Is I followed you on Twitter. And
we've met before. Like, we've talked. I think I asked you if you would come to Bristol. You're probably like, who in the hell is this guy?
So, Well, I look at bios and like I typically he's one of the LTC guys. I'm like, that's cool. This is gonna sound terrible, guys. There's a guy I raced with for like 3 years now. We've been on a team together. He's a great dude, and he reached out to me 3 weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago. He said, "Hey man, and he's from Indiana. I've met him once the day after the Indy 500. I met him, a bunch of my other iRacing buddies met up for the first time. Kind of cool because they were all in town for the 500. And he's like, hey man, so I do photography, and he's like, so I'm trying to get some resume stuff. He's like, ARCA's in town at Salem. He goes, do you know is there any teams I can take pictures for? I'm like, I sure do. I said, Alex Club, he owns the 03, which is the number that I drove, and he's a very low dollar team in ARCA. But we ran the super speedway because he doesn't have a super speedway car, so LeMoyne just like kind of borrowed a number. So that's how that whole deal worked. But he was running Salem because he runs full time for owners points. And I'm like, reach out to club on Facebook, and I said, if not, here's a couple other guys you can reach out to. He goes, awesome, thanks. He even told me Alex was like, yeah, dude, come on down. It's gonna be a great time. So I'm like, awesome. I get down into Salem, and the first pit I go to is Alex Club's pit, and we go, and this dude's standing there, and he's got a camera, and he's just talking like he knows me. And he asked me, he goes, hey, you're going to meet up with Gary later? I'm like, Gary? Yeah, I'm going to meet up with Gary. I didn't know he was coming. Yeah, man, yeah. And about 3 hours later, I just heard him talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like Peyton. And I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, this is a stupid question. I'm like, are you Peyton? And like we've been talking for like 3 hours, almost like nonstop this whole time. He's like, are you joking? I'm like, nah, dude, you gotta realize I'm terrible. I'm terrible with names. Like, I'm absolutely terrible. Like, so I met my bud Peyton at Salem over the weekend. So that's how that went. And Gary. And I didn't know who Gary was, but I realized it was Gary, our also teammate that I've met before.
Dude,
so,
shout out Gary.
I know, right? Gary with 2 R's. That's 2 R's.
Garry.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a pizzazz to it.
Mm. We went to Waffle House afterwards too. Great time. So
I'm out on Waffle House.
Well, we went to Fake Waffle. We went to the OG. Some Indiana trivia for you guys. So Waffle House was actually. Let's knock my piano over. Anyways, so Waffle House was actually a thing in Indiana before the chain Waffle House. Okay. So when the chain came to Indiana, they had to legally change their name for the Indiana restaurant to Waffle and Steakhouse.
Oh, that sucks.
And like in the past 15-20 years, OG Waffle House, as we call it, changed their name to the Sunshine Cafe, and then the Waffle and Steakhouse, changed back to Waffle House. So we always go to Waffle House, but it's the OG Waffle House that was here before the chain Waffle House. So, and it's the same like vibe almost, like 24 hours, like limited seating, like 3 servers and a cook, people screaming at each other, food's greasy, but it's great,
Is it a dangerous place where you are? Waffle houses here are dangerous. They are.
I mean, it's in a town. It's like off the interstate, and it's in by Dalton. It's in a town of like 500 people. There's not that much that goes on there. It's like that with Taco Bell and like 4 gas stations and like 2 hotels.
How many people are there? Like at 2 a.m. Like, is there usually people there?
We'll go there after the races because I normally race at Brownstown Speedway in Brownstown, Indiana. It's about, I want to say, 15 minutes from Brownstown, and like Brownstown's way off the interstate, and you gotta drive past it. It's like right by the interstate. So like you go 2 o'clock after the races and it's packed. I mean, it can fit probably, I'd say 60, 70, 80 people, and you got 120 in there. I mean, like it's been so packed before. I've had to go out to our trailer and get like our folding chairs, like our like folding, like the camping chairs you take to the track, and there you sit that, like bring 2 or 3 of them in to use for our table because like all the chairs are taken. Like so it's been, yeah, dude, it's popping, dude. But food's good. It's greasy. They got like the menu's like 8 pages long, and like half of it's stuff you never want to order from someplace at 2 o'clock in the morning. But the chicken tenders, let me tell you about the chicken tenders. All right, these chicken tenders are straight fire, dude. All right, like I get some
fire, dude.
I get the fries, and I learned to have waffle fries. I got that by accident this past time I went. Straight fire, like literally like a, I can't say that. But like straight fire. And I like get like a quart of barbecue sauce. I mean, I just dip in my spoonfuls of barbecue sauce. I probably got diabetes, but I mean, it's so.
Is there a restaurant that you want to try that you haven't tried yet? Like number one,
like one that's like out of your region.
Yeah,
like an In-N-Out,
Indiana doesn't
Whataburger.
have In-N-Out would be I always want to try In-N-Out.
I had it.
I've tried. What's that chicken tender place? Cane's. I've tried Cane's recently in the past couple months for the first time.
Did you like it?
Well, the first time we went at like 4:00, and there was like nobody there, and it was like you could tell the food was like old or the oil was dirty. Like it just didn't taste good. I didn't like the cane sauce. I'm a barbecue guy. We talked about this. I brought my own barbecue, Sweet Baby Ray's, and it was alright with the Sweet Baby Ray's. And then we went at like 9:00, a couple weeks later. It was through Cincinnati, and it was good. I put the bread, and I put the tendy, and I put some fries, and I slapped some barbecue sauce on it, and more bread, and that was just heavenly. But In-N-Out, Whataburger. That's a California place, isn't it?
It's Texas. That's a Texas place.
Is that, yeah. I'm a good I like a good cheeseburger. So I'd like to try that.
Whataburger is incredible.
I went to Las Vegas in February, and I ran into one. I was like, I'm gonna try this out, and it was delicious. I'll say it was probably one of the most delicious places I've ever ate.
Yeah, I do want to say, Chrome, I appreciate you stopping by. So this guy is actually in my documentary class. We struck up a conversation. Yeah, because I was sitting there, and I think I was like reading something, and I felt somebody like kind of close to me, and I looked over, and he was like, "Is that a Bubba Wallace hat?" Because he was like trying to look at my hat, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got the slides too." And from there, like we sat beside each other, just talk NASCAR every single class. That's the only positive part about that fucking class. And we have like a little NASCAR group that we all like just talk about NASCAR before the class starts.
That's badass.
Well, the Colts are playing tied with there's tied 6-6 Colts Broncos with 5 after going in the third quarter. That's shocking. And I don't know. Someone asked if this is a par 3 tonight. I don't know what that means. Someone say is this a par 3 tonight at the One Pizza Man? And there's like no context. So I'm just gonna say yes, question mark.
Yes. You know where you can find In-N-Out? 69 Mega.
Oh man. How much longer we think about staying on the show? Because if we're like it's too long, I might need to tweet out that we're back here for 2.5.
I think that at least me, speaking for myself, I can't speak for Dalton or Jacob. I am about to dip.
I'm also about to dip.
You guys act like got me up at like 8 in the morning. That's why I got me up at actually
I do work tomorrow. Yeah.
5, sadly.
Oh man, I got
we went on a tirade about the weekend NASCAR.
Mm-hmm. So it's been a crazy. It's only Thursday.
I know. Week. Yeah, that's like we were playing. Like as soon as you left, we were about to go, and then in the comments, somebody was like, well, "What do you think about Byron?" And that just
here we go.
Here
we go.
We weren't gonna do it, but I guess we're doing it.
I went at the 70 laps at Talladega. We had 2 cautions. It was like pretty good, and I'm like, I doubt they're back on. Or I doubt they're up, and I had the tab closed out, and Dalton, you gotta get Dalton. Yeah, I gotta get Dalton come back in here. And,
let me come say bye.
And I pulled up. I'm like, they're still alive, and then I'm like, how do I join? I forgot to join, and then I'm like, oh, that's right, that one link that you totally didn't send me on that one social media platform, yeah.
Play some piano. Are you gonna play us an outro bit?
I can play us an outro bit. I'm not very good. I've only know 4 songs, and they're not the full songs. They're like the tidbits of songs.
What songs do we have? What's our?
I have a tidbit of Gary Jules' Mad World. I can do the Star Wars Duel of the Fates.
Okay.
I can do the Still Dre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was both my parents that probably should have turned that down. That was terrible. Yeah, and All around me are familiar faces. I can kind of play the full song. If I pull up like the sheet music on YouTube, I can do it.
Can I hear the Star Wars?
Yes, you can. I'm still working on it. It's like the newest song I've learned, but oh. And then it's like a That's not how that goes at all, but I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. So.
Live look in Dalton's room. Nobody's
Dalton
there.
walked to the
Nobody's
next
there.
town.
Oh!
Hey yo! Look at him! Look at him! Look at that dump truck! Look at that dump truck he's got.
It would have been great if we walked in like wearing Kyle Busch underwear. So, this is a great topic. I'm glad I brought that up. All right, how many people we got watching?
So we said it's funny. We were at like 20 some, and then we were like, all right, guys, see you next time. And we dropped down to 8. So we're sitting at 8. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is kind of funny. All right. So I have an internet friend group. We've been friends since like 2016. We met on Minecraft, right? And now it's like grown so much bigger, and like we've all met up in person and whatnot. And we do Secret Santa every year. Well, there's like kind of, I don't want to say hierarchies, but like the group leader, you know, like the dude that kind of united all of us together like 8 years ago. I got his girlfriend for Secret Santa, okay? And which is kind of part of the group. So I thought it'd be hilarious if I sent her pictures, or if I sent her like underwear, but with my face on it.
That's a baller move.
But
Okay.
like, Jacob's dying.
Oh God. He's like, I'm muting the man. I can't even mute him.
Am I dying or is Jacob dying? Oh no. Okay.
All right, I'm putting him out. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time he laughs, just
But I don't know. She might take it the wrong way, but I think it's hilarious. That or get her underwear with his face on it, but then mine on the back.
I was gonna say, can you get like a pair of underwear with like yours and his face?
I think that would be pretty solid.
What if you like got a picture of him and took a picture of you and photoshopped it and split it down the middle?
Terrible. That's great, but terrible.
Is he back? I think he's back.
Oh, he's muted. We can't hear him. I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah, man, dude, the internet.
Baller move. Baller move.
Baller.
You literally sacrificed downloading a shitty ass NASCAR game just to have fucky internet for a podcast tonight.
Dude, Dalton, why are you hating on me, bro? You're oppressing me right now.
I'm not hating on you. I'm hating on your fucking game, dude. It's ass. I don't know why you're downloading it.
Bro,
We're gonna do an LTC NASCAR ignition stream within the next 2 weeks.
And a Halloween stream in 4 weeks.
I still got to buy
PlayStation Plus.
That reminds me. Fuck.
If if anybody wants to donate $60 to Dalton's PlayStation Plus fund,
please, I'm a poor fuck. Just give me some money. Give me some money, please. I need it.
$60.
I did it. You can do it too.
Spare
the
change.
That's how much I donated.
Spare
donated.
change.
The fans can donate too.
Spare change, man.
This guy's forced to live with Kyle Busch like merchandise all over his house. All right, that's his living conditions. You should feel bad.
How much do you pay for your PlayStation Plus, Jacob?
$10 a month.
Do you know what 10 times 12 is?
Yeah. But sometimes I don't buy it for a month if I know I'm not going to play.
If you pay 60, you get it for a year.
Yeah, that's probably what I was gonna do.
But what if you don't play for like 4 months?
You still
save
money. Yeah, you're still like positive 20.
So I play. Okay, so let's say I played heavily last month, right? All right, this month I'm still kind of playing. Probably around November-ish, I'm going to stop because that's usually how I do it, and then I won't play till like February.
If you play more than 6 months throughout the year, then you save money doing the annual subscription.
Yeah, that ain't me. I don't play 6 months out the year.
I think it's not working either. Like I tried putting in a game and it said like it wouldn't load or something. I don't know. And plus I had
Just
to unplug
smack
it.
it real hard.
I got nowhere to plug it, dude. Like I'm full.
Just put it on the floor.
What the fuck? Why'd you say that?
I zoned out for 8 minutes, and I came back for not even 8 minutes, like 2 minutes. And I came back, and someone on Facebook called me Pizza Daddy, and then I heard put it on the floor. So
Yeah, put it on the floor, pizza. Papal says the peanut butter waffle at Waffle House is the go-to.
I'm allergic to peanut butter, which is really inconvenient.
You're allergic to peanut butter?
If I ever win the Reese's Sweet Move of the Race in the ARCA Menard series,
I'm telling you, that is
peanut butter's fucking nasty.
What the fuck ever, Dalton?
Dude,
Get out of here,
that's
dude.
a PFT.
I can eat
Dalton, you missed
peanut
this. Hang
butter
on.
like straight out of the tub.
Bro,
Yeah,
that was a straight gangster move by Dalton.
Representing all the gangsters all across the
No,
world. Still.
no.
In the corners of those girls.
No.
No.
Absolutely
time.
not. No. You're never allowed to do that shit again as long as I'm on here.
It's a
No.
TRE.
Also, sometimes I want to point out, Dalton, I love how you got this whole background vibe going. I love the tire in the background. The coolest thing about getting a race at, so like I go through a lot of sheet metal, and so like obviously I have one of my own doors or something that hanging up on the wall. The coolest thing though about that Talladega wreck, the greatest thing I took away from it.
Oh.
I'm
think that's
dying
pretty
for
cool.
a Kyle Busch hood. I'm dying for it.
I'm dying. And wait, it gets better. It gets even better. I have it sitting over here in the corner. Now I can't name names on whose car this is off of, but I'll let you guys take your next or let your guess. Take a guess.
I have that Dell Earnhardt Monopoly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dale Earnhardt Monopoly.
Yeah, you don't see it behind Brayton.
Yeah, it's right there, Duopoly. Or
What the
Duopoly,
fuck?
Yeah, that's still in box. That's still wrapped, by the way. Like,
Yeah, I have
1996.
mine. Mine's right here.
Dale
But, yeah,
Earnhardt Monopoly.
Yes.
Hold
But,
the fuck up.
This piece right here is I got that. Which I'm sure you guys can probably put together whose car that it's off of. I have a Brayton Laster diecast. Tell me this isn't cool. Like I have diecast. I had to pay for some. I'd pay some like 12-year-old kid $10 to make it, but I did.
That's sick.
I'm a dirt lane model diecast. Mass produced, not mass produced, but I'm making a ton of those soon, hopefully. And then I have this kind of cool, a Rusty Wallace couch sleeve. It's called a TV racer, and they can put on her arm like of the couch, and it hangs down and have like pockets for the remote.
Dude, what the fuck? I had never heard of Dale Earnhardt Monopoly in my entire fucking life, and this is badass. Look at the damn characters.
I haven't even looked at them.
Like,
I've been to Annapolis too.
You got the E, you got the hauler, you got the car, you got the trophy, the flags, dude.
Yeah, that's my sheet metal. Actually, I have also have an autographed Anthony Alfredo back bumper from his rookie year last year in Cup.
That's cool.
I have a JD Motorsports front bumper from like 2018-ish. I don't know, from the Xfinity series. Like there's red cars. I have no idea what year it's from. I bought it from the Racing Warehouse, that place that sells sheet metal. I want to say the Racing Warehouse is what it's called.
Wait a minute, is Monopoly gonna get sued for this?
Oh
Dude,
no!
This shit is from like before Dell even died. Like it's already lost.
Well, she canceled the fucking Kannapolis Intimidators.
That was
That's
like
true.
years ago.
Here, this
Maybe
is
she's
from.
maybe she's not as bad anymore.
Hopefully not.
Oh, that's terrible. This is from 2000. Oh god, that's terrible. That's still in That's still in a plastic package. Like that's
fancy.
That is.
Somebody's gonna come in that. Somebody's gonna come in that open ass window and open it.
That second story, so that should be good.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
you should be.
This
fine.
is a terrible story. Okay, this is terrible. The only reason I know about that because I was in some dude's Discord. I want to say it was the LTC Discord. It might have been the LTC. I want to say it was Matthew Bruner, that guy that talks and that gets active in there a lot. I think he posted that saying he really wanted it. He posted the eBay listing. I said, "That's cool," and went and bought it.
Yeah, hold on, wait. I'll grab mine for the funsies.
Okay, so I want to feel bad for Matt, but everyone that's in the Discord, for the most part, dude, are like the coldest animals, man.
I'll say, like, he put it in there, and I'm like,
The animal.
"Nope, he's dying." Oh no. But like he put it in there. And I waited 20. I didn't see it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, if it's still, he put a link, I think, to the listing, and I'm like, oh, that's hot,
Dude. I need that.
The houses
I'm gonna
are
cop that real
black.
quick. Thanks, Matt.
But yeah, I'm like, dude, this is dope. I might be completely wrong about what Discord it was in, but I want to say it was Matthew. But I know it was a Discord, so somebody posted and said that looks really awesome. Here,
Any chance you can roast Matt or like undercut or stab Matt in the back, I always give him a thumbs up. We hate each other.
That's funny.
Yeah, we just feud all the time. And by feud, all he does is just drag me for no good reason. He'll just be like, here's our daily reminder that Cody's a dork. Yeah.
Good dude.
Oh, yeah, incredible guy.
I would tell you exactly who I stole this from under. I bought it July 24th. Oh, and it gave me a great. I bought it for $15 plus $10 shipping, and gave me a 20% off discount for a racer's discount. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming because I race. I gotta find this now. Hang on. When I bought that? July. Okay. Oh, here's. I don't know how that is, but I'm scared. Oh God. Shit.
Papa John sucks.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you, Parv.
So does Pizza Hut.
Okay, man.
That's also a bad take.
Domino's
Very
is
bad.
better.
Okay, man. We're going to stop you right there.
I guess you like eating
Papa
ass, don't
John's
you,
is
Parv?
ass.
What's wrong with that, Dalton? What's your deal?
That's a good point.
This is the LTC where we watch people on their phones and Jacob playing video
Yeah.
games.
I'm not even playing. I'm just trying to make this go fast.
All right, I lost a screenshot, but I'll find it in like 3 years. And I'll be like, oh, there it is.
Why is the sun still out? It's not the sun, son.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Oh well, I guess this is the end, right?
Something
think
like
it
that,
is.
man.
I
I got a gift for Parv. Down the road, we'll figure it out. Something.
Hey,
And,
I'll be in Daytona.
I should hopefully, unless something just falls through, which in the racing world it happens all the time, unfortunately, I should be there.
Okay. Hey, I will too.
So
I'll see you.
would Dalton be there?
Wait, where?
Oh my God, Daytona, man, Daytona. Speed week.
I'm poor, man. I can't.
What's Kyle Busch's first race for RCR in an official points sanctioned race?
Dude, I want to go so bad, but I'm getting ready to buy a house. Hopefully this Christmas.
Buy a minivan, but you can drive it. You can move wherever you go. I mean, you got heat, AC. You got power steering. Can you steer a house? Didn't think so. I mean,
Well, I mean, again, if y'all want to, fuck.
No, oh no, it's Vermont, tarnation.
I can't this fucking camera. If y'all want me to go to Daytona, scan this.
Did you guys see?
Thank you right here. Yeah.
Did you guys see the message I put when I donated?
I had no access to that.
Cody, you got one job, man.
What is it?
You got to deliver the message. The donate message on PayPal.
Oh.
I forget what I put. I said somebody sucks. I forget who though. It wasn't Jacob because I didn't know Jacob's name at the time.
You said Cody sucks.
Oh man, sorry about that. I meant Dalton, but
Wow, you made me read that. Pain. Old Grandpa Jacob is sleepy.
I am, man. I'm old, dude. I'm getting old.
All right. So, without anything else being said, it's been the LTC from East Tennessee.
and
as
Indianapolis.
always. It's in Indianapolis. It is me, the one, the only, the Cody hostess with the mostest.
Are we off air yet? No, we're not. It says live. Oh, hang on,
Yeah,
guys.
we're still on.
Are we still okay? This is a great way to end it right here.
We're representing from Gates all across